Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Welcome everyone to AEW Spark for, I think, August 29th, 2022, because I imagine this isn't going to go out until the next day. You're probably wondering why the guest is the same, because we'll get into that. So let me introduce my guest first. This is the man that is editing this show right now, the man that is tired as hell right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm running out of nicknames for you because we've done too many shows together recently. So,
the man who's autistic, shaver. There you go.
How you doing today? Supposed to ask that every.
I'm tired, but other than that, good.
I know we did. We went hard on SummerSlam 2000, so that can make a person tired. But yeah, so. This week, I wanted to get the original host for AEW Spark, Noah Foster. We were going to do it and everything, but pretty much what happened was NWA 74 kind of screwed us over because he ended up having to do commentary with Jeff Meacham to try to do that, so we couldn't really squeeze him in this week. Which kind of sucks because he was at this show live. I wanted to get his live perspective on this show, but...
We'll ask him for sure. We'll ask him for sure. And plus, we're going to be doing an ATW view, so if you guys want to know what his live perspective was like, you could check that out on that ATW view.
Yeah.
That will be on the channel. So
I wanted James on because we're going to talk about it at the end, but there's a lot of stuff backstage going on with AEW, and he's been keeping up to date with that, so I figured James was going to be, able to provide... Not that Noah wouldn't, he would, but... James is going to be able to provide more on that situation, at the moment. But yeah, we're going to just start talking about the shows. Quite the eventful week for AEW this week. This week, not necessarily for good reasons, but, there is some positive that came out of AEW if you just watch the show this week, so that's good.
Yeah.
Let's start off by talking about them. We're going to start off with Elevation. Again, it's going to be the same as last week, where James is just going to kind of let me sit here and give the results for Elevation. This should be quicker this time because he got his vents about Elevation and stuff like the last week and stuff. So, starting with Elevation, though, it was episode 77. James and I predicted for the show, and I think we got I think we got all matches but 1-1, so we'll talk about it. We had Excalibur and Matt Menard again on commentary, which was awesome. It made the show really awesome, commentary-wise anyways.
Yeah.
They should honestly just be the commentary team for Elevation. I get it's probably a lot for Excalibur to do, but it seems like he's been the commentator anyways. I don't know what the hell Tony Giovanni's...
At this point, I would just make him the main guy for Elevation.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Shivani was supposed to be, but I don't know if he's just busy backstage or what. Because it seems like Shivani has been on every third episode as of late. So,
yeah, who the hell knows? And I'm sure that isn't a great team.
Yeah. It kicked off with Anna JAS versus Nikki Victory. I could tell you who didn't get the victory here. It wasn't Nikki Victory. I just think some of the names these enhancement talent has does not fit them well at all. You don't call it enhancement talent Nikki Victory. You shouldn't be doing that. But anyhow, that could be a real name in your life or whatever. I believe not Nikki Victory. Anna J was accompanied by Angelo Parker, which was cool. Anna J won with Queen Slayer, which I don't think it's called that anymore because she's not on the Dark Order anymore. But nice transition into the Queen Slayer. But yeah, it kind of was what it was. It's a squash match. You don't expect a lot. Then we had something I kind of liked. It was Queen Emanata and Mikey Medias, I think is how you say that, versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho. This was the first time we got to see Ortiz and Ruby Soho team up, and it was fairly entertaining. It was cool because they never teamed up before and stuff. Obviously Ortiz and Ruby Soho won with the Blade Runner. I know she doesn't call it the Blade Runner, but that's what I know it as, so that's what I'm calling it. So
Yeah, aka
um,
Sister Abigail.
yeah. Then we had Dante Mountain versus Jackson Drake. This was actually a pretty good match here. Dante Mountain really sold with this guy, but Jackson Drake couldn't get the win. Dante Mountain won with a nosedive, but I actually expected this to be good. I think I talked about it last week. Just because Dante Mountain usually does a good job getting the enhancement talent over, so I was happy about this. Then we had Megan Myers versus Serena Deeb. Basically, any Serena Deeb squash match you see on Dark of Elevation, she easily dispatched of her. One with the Serenity Lock, so that was that.
Putting her on squash matches, though, like
I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't think they have a storyline for Serena Deeb right now, and
so
she just challenged.
So the idea, well, then see, this is where they have to do the rankings, because the idea is that if she gets a bunch of wins on Dark, that will actually count, and then she'll actually be back in the rankings. So I can kind of see why they do it this way now.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, man, the fact that she's on Dark.
Yeah.
The fact that she even has to be on Dark, fuck.
I know. Then, speaking of Dark, we had the Dark Order squads, Damon Slovano, Alexander Apollo, and R.C. Dupree, which is kind of funny that they had a guy named R.C. Dupree on this show. And
wasn't he on
last
week?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Remember, we did predictions for Elevation last week, so that's probably what's throwing you off.
That's right.
It was funny because I think they were taking shots at WWE here because they were trying to pronounce the name Dupree. And Matt Menard didn't know which one was the Dupree, so he just kept calling everyone OC Dupree. It was hilarious. So the Dark Order won in a squash. It was 10 Alex Reynolds and John Silver representing the Dark Order, because obviously they
basically to help with their trios match. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it was it was a nice way.
Whatever.
That was fine. Julia Hart squash, Haley Shadows. I'm fine with these Julia Hart squash matches, but we gotta start doing something with Julia Hart. Like, you brought her into the House of Black, and all she's done is squash matches lately. So we gotta start doing something. So,
if she's just gonna be a freaking valet, just don't have her manage.
Yeah, something. I mean, I'm still. I mean, I think that
sorry,
seems
don't
guy.
Have her wrestle. I said manage like an idiot. I'm tired.
I mean, I think it's obviously dead after what happened last week, but, they should be running up the fact that she was with the Varsity Blondes, and they should be doing something with that, but I don't think that's going to happen after what happened last week, so.
No. They've killed that fucking tag team dead.
Yeah. Tony Nese and Josh Woods squash Andre Gorello and Logan James. This was entertaining. I enjoy seeing Tony Nese and Josh Woods team up, so that's cool. Josh Woods got a submission win on one of the guys. Then Death Triangle squashed Rosario Gorillo, Man Scout, and Dean Alexander. I enjoy seeing Dean Alexander all the time, so that's cool. Not really a fan of seeing Man Scout. I feel like that gimmick needs to stay in the indies. I know a lot of people say, well, Orange Cassidy's gimmick, it was an indie gimmick, but this gimmick just doesn't work at all that Man Scout does. He needs to keep that in the indies. Don't be doing that on my YouTube channel. But yeah, Death Triangle squashed him. The only thing I wish is that Man Scout took the loss, because I'm not enjoying him, so he should have taken the loss.
Yeah, no.
Then we had the main event. It was Hikaru Shida and Sky Blue versus Emi Sakura and Maki Ito. It was good when Maki Ito wasn't in the match. Hikaru Shida won some type of championship in Japan. It wasn't like a New Japan title or anything. It was some type of cruise championship. I'm really not sure what it was, because it's been like a few days since I've seen this. So she did come out with the belt and everything, so that was cool. I think it's the same belt that what's her name? The woman that she fought at Revolution last year. Not this year, but last year. The one that won that crappy tournament last year. What's it? Ryo Mizunami or something like that. Yeah, I think it's the same title that she won. So.
Okay, so she beat Ryo Mizunami for it. By the way, where the hell has Ryo Mizunami been? She was like the star fucking beaking of that entire
I know.
crappy ass tournament. Where
Maybe she was.
are we just not pushing her?
Maybe she was just on excursion. So you know her excursion ended, so she had to leave.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe. Who knows?
yeah, like I said, good match here when Maki Ito wasn't in the match. Eventually, Emi Sakura pinned Sky Blue with the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. I really don't understand why they did this decision. It should have been Sheeta and Sky Blue winning, especially with what happened this week. I know that obviously that was all taped last week, so they probably didn't know that was going to happen. Fair enough, but it kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit that Sheeta's in the 4-way match now, though. So
Yeah.
whatever. And I could say they're going to set up a title match, but we're not even going to see that title match unless they show it on Dog. But they're probably not going to because it's not their belt. So, good episode of Elevation, honestly. It doesn't sound like that, but, having Matt Menard and Excalibur makes it a good episode. So, and, I enjoyed seeing, like, Death Triangle have a squash. I enjoyed seeing Julia Hart squash somebody, and I enjoyed seeing the Ortiz and Ruby Soho team up. And the Dante Mountain match was good, so. And obviously, I enjoyed the Dark Water squash, but that was mainly because of Matt Menard's commentary. So, moving on to AEW Dark 158, an hour and a half again. I don't know why it was an hour and a half this week. I could understand the last week because they had tape and things, but whatever. We had Excalibur and Taz on commentary. The commentary was, as it always is, they were back in the studios, so they weren't actually there. They were just taping the commentary over probably Zoom or something.
Right.
We had Robin and Charlotte Renegade versus Rocky Radley and Ali Rex. Pretty good match here. I remember the Renegade Sisters won, but it's been so long since I've seen this, and I've watched so much other wrestling since then. I don't remember how it happened. But I know that they won. Anthony Go squashed Meto. He basically just knocked the guy out. He actually showcased some great chain wrestling and submission moves here that it's worth checking out just to see Anthony Go just continuously to progress in the on AEW Dark.
They need to start doing something with him, dude. This is
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous. Get him out of that fucking factory, please.
Yeah. Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth squash Adrian Alanis and Liam Gray. I was actually kind of surprised that they won. Usually, sometimes they like to have the enhancement talent win. I thought this was going to be one of those times because the Windmen never win a match, but no, they actually did win a match. And then afterwards, they got interviewed and said that they're going to make AEW pretty. Spoiler alert, that hasn't happened.
Fuck off. Get rid of this team. Oh, God. Just have Ryan Nemeth just lay him out.
Yeah,
and then join the Varsity Blondes and just do like a Hollywood Blondes trio.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We had Blake Christian versus Lucky Ali. This was a pretty decent match here. Blake Christian won with the 450, and afterwards he says he's going to start progressing on AEW.
Who?
I don't think he signed Blake Christian. I don't think he signed though, so that can't happen. I don't know what he was talking about there.
That's an interesting one because usually some of these guys, I know Wheeler Yuta and Garcia actually started on Dark, believe it or not, and then they started living up to that word. So that might be something to watch out for.
Yeah, I hope so. Then Jala Joe squashed Very Morales. He just completely destroyed this guy. I always enjoy seeing Very Morales. He's a guy I like that they keep bringing back because he's basically like a tiny Damian Priest. If like Damian Priest shrunk in the wash.
It's like if Damian Priest was just edited in Photoshop and then you just spliced him on Dark.
I know.
Yeah.
Then we had Max Caster versus Justin Cotto. Obviously, Justin Cotto.
By the way, I'm very glad they're bringing. I do have something to say about Jordan Joel. I want them to start doing something with this guy.
He's really good.
In general, I want them to do something better with the people I mentioned that should have been in the Trustbusters. So Tiger Ruas and Cesar Bononi, Ari Davari, George Ole, Rohit Raju,
Well,
like
yeah,
that
Rohit
should be the
Raju.
crew. I want them, if they're not going to do that now, I mean, I just want them to do something with all those guys.
Yeah, I
Minus
know.
Ari Dabari, who's doing the Trustbusters thing. Because
Yeah, at least how he.
this is ridiculous, man.
I know. Um, yeah, Max Caster fought that guy Justin Koto. He did his rap on Justin Koto, and it was kind of cool because he was by himself on this episode. So what
Wait,
it
Joel can rap?
No, I'm sorry. I'm on the Max Caster match now. I'm back talking about that.
Okay. I was about to
Um,
be. Okay, so Max Caster buried the jobber. Gotcha.
yeah. He did a rap and he was by himself this week. So when it was Anthony Bowen's part, he just had like a fan do it, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
So I was, yeah. Then we had believe it or not, it wasn't the main event. I don't know why it was. Well with what happens later in the show, it makes sense why it wasn't. Uh, Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado versus Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. Really good match here. Uh, Dante Martin and Matt Sydal started off the match hitting a lot of high flying moves onto these guys. And then eventually, Nick Camarado started grounding and dominating Matt Sydal, which was really cool. Then eventually, Dante Martin got the hot tag, and everybody started hitting dives on each other. And Dante Martin won with a nose dive onto Aaron Solo, which was pretty cool. So really good match here. I mean, what sucks about watching a Factory or Windman match is it's just so predictable. You know they're not going to win unless they face like an enhancement talent or, like a Fuego del
Yeah,
Sol.
it's a shame right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I get it. You need the factory to have a jobber team, and it's got to be in house. That's fair. Totally
yeah.
understandable.
It just makes the matches predictable because you can't
It
get
makes
into
the
them because
match predictable, but if you're gonna do it, that's fine. It's just Anthony Ogogo should not be anywhere near that group if that's gonna be
Yeah.
the case.
That's the only other time they win is if Anthony Go teams with them. That's the only other time they win.
Because they're trying to keep him undefeated ever since the Cody loss, I guess.
Yeah.
But which, by the way, you could have fooled me. Put this guy on TV. I
Yeah.
mean, how many freaking wins does he need at this point? He's fucking undefeated. This dude should be challenging for a world championship by now.
I know.
He should be, anyway. I mean, dude, him and Wardlow would be a banger of a match at this point.
That'd be awesome.
Seriously, put him in the program with Wardlow.
Next was Weston Blake versus Daniel Garcia. I'm assuming. Do you know who Weston Blake is? Because it's a name that you should recognize.
Weston Blake is freaking Buddy Matthews' old tag team partner, right?
Yeah. You got it. So this is pretty. Now, this means a few things. One, he could be signing, which would be cool. And if he does sign, he should join the House of Black with Buddy Matthews as the tag team. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
This means another thing that the promotion that EC3 Adam Shear started up, the Control Your Own Narrative, that probably means that's not doing so well.
Yeah, that's on its last legs, and I didn't even freaking month.
So that means that's not doing well. Which,
Control your narrative, my ass.
Yeah.
Instead of control my narrative, how about get counseling?
Yeah. But yeah, they actually him and Daniel Garcia actually had a really well worked match here.
Ooh,
I forgot
before we even continue with this, by the way, there was rumors going around that were completely outside of the rumors we're going to talk about. You know that Danhausen was not the original plan. It was supposed to be fucking Adam Shear. But because of the control your narrative thing, that didn't happen, so they went with Danhausen instead.
Wow, so I feel like that's kind of like, a big loss, but I feel like they gained like a whole, like they also gained a lot in a way too.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, contrary to what a lot of people are gonna say about Adam Shear, they don't want to see him do bad. They want to see him do well. I mean, it doesn't have to be in AEW. Like, it could be in Triple H's WWE or whatever. But like, nobody wants to see the guy fail.
No, not at all.
You know, I think a lot of people misconstrue that because we crap on the guy, but that control your narrative thing has failed. It was a cool gimmick, and they tried to turn it into a fucking promotion, and it failed.
Yeah.
So
I really can't comment because I didn't watch any of their shows. You would have to talk to Chris Dodd about that because he watched like an episode, so I can't really comment.
I watched a review. It wasn't great. I've seen clips. It's a disaster right now.
The only thing I got was basically everything we see in AEW would be outlawed in that promotion, pretty much too.
Yeah, the thing that everything that AEW is known for. So everything that made them money in the first place and got them a television deal. That's smart, idiot.
Don't blame him. Blame EC3. He's the one that came up with the promotion.
They're both the fucking plan. They both started this shit together. They should have fucking just kept it as a gimmick in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. But yeah, anyhow, back to Weston Blake versus Daniel Garcia. This was a really good match here. Weston Blake, you really forget that this guy can work because, I also haven't seen him wrestle in a while. I think the last time I've seen him wrestle was when he was in the WWE. And, obviously he's wrestling Daniel Garcia. And I don't think he's probably...
come on, you got a great match here. You really do.
And he actually wrestled really well because he hasn't wrestled this style in a while either because he's been doing the CWC stuff or whatever it's called. So yeah, Daniel Garcia,
the CYN, yep.
Yeah, CYN. Daniel Garcia won with the the Dragon Sleeper, which was obviously going to happen considering the fact that he's being pushed right now. The only thing that was kind of goofy about it was they tried to play it off like he just came out of the match with Danielson on the 2 out of 3 Falls match, but because this was taped, you could clearly tell that was not the case at all because he was still acting like a heel and he didn't look banged up at all from that match. So
yeah, true.
That was the only thing that was kind of goofy here, but it's taped. What can you do? Then. We had the Trustbusters squash Ryan Howe, Omar Amir, and Cash Flow. Yeah, that's a wrestler's name, Cash Flow. I can't believe that was a name. This is what I told you about this. They've added VSK to the group now, and he's their butler apparently now. So I don't understand.
Use of fucking VSK, idiots.
And he's not VSK now. He's JVSK. So. I don't know what the J stands for.
I know exactly what it stands for. He's their jobber.
Oh, there it is.
Nice guys. Fuck off. I already don't want to see the Trustbusters the more I fucking see them, seriously. Now they just took one of my favorite fucking indie guys that's been coming on Dark and just completely fucking buried him. Great one. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Not good. Afterwards, Shivani interviewed them. And basically, he's cut... Ali Duvali cuts the same promo he's been cutting on Go. It just basically copy and paste it. So there you go.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Then we had John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and 10 squash Tyjon Perez, DK Vandu, and Joey Sweets. So there you go. Again, building them up for the trios match. I don't really know if we needed to do 2 squash matches to build it up, but again, maybe Doc was filmed before Elevation, so fair enough.
It makes it work. At the end of the day, they got to train, right? So this is good. This is good story block building for that at least. So there at least there's a small purpose here.
And then Tony Nese and Josh Wood squashed JKM and Oliver Sawyer. So there you go.
Yeah.
This is new. So we had Sean Maluda and Mandy Lowe versus Iron Savages. Iron Savages. Yeah. Iron Savages. Bear Country. They've repackaged Bear Country to Iron Savages. It's really random because they weren't like this like a few episodes ago, so it's kind of random that all of a sudden they're like this now, but...
they're still calling them... I assume they're calling them Iron Bronson and Iron Boulder.
No, they're still,
Bear Boulder
actually,
and Bear Bronson?
They're Boulder and Bronson. That's all they are.
Okay.
Boulder and Bronson. They have a new manager now, and he comes out and basically hypes them up and everything.
Who's
There was
the
a joke
manager?
here. I forget his name, so I didn't write it
alright.
down.
Well, fair
Uh,
enough then. Okay.
but yeah, this could be a good thing in long term because it's a good powerhouse tag team to have in the tag division. So this could be a good thing. I wish they would have chose a different jobber for them to squash than Sean Maluda because Sean Maluda is way too talented to be just another job guy for this. You've seen
Yeah,
what
I agree.
the fact that it's not realistic. The fact that this guy hung with Kota Ibushi and can't freaking hang with
Oh yeah, he's been
Bear Country
yeah, he hung with Kota Ibushi in New Japan, right?
and the CWC too.
Yeah, true.
Um,
I don't know.
but yeah, they squashed these guys. Afterwards, they cut a promo basically saying that they're sick and tired of doing what everybody else wants, so they're going to get more vicious and more aggressive to climb the ladder in the tag division in AEW. So this
I'm
could be
cool
a
with
team,
it.
by the way. This could be a team that maybe not necessarily beats them, but could feud with Swerve and Our Glory for the tag titles, which I think is needed.
I think they ought to just give the damn belts to fucking FTR and then do the matches that way. Yes, Bear Boulder and
Yeah.
Bronson aren't gonna win, but
Um,
they need to get those belts off them, and they need to do it pronto because that tag division's suffering, dude. FTR is the most prolific tag team in that entire company right now, and yes, they have a ton of titles, but they do not have the AEW tag titles yet, and we've been waiting for way too goddamn long. Just put the fucking belts on them.
yeah, we'll talk about it more later. Um, then we had the Workhorsemen versus Rosario Guerrero and Dean Alexander. I love seeing the Workhorsemen wrestle, so that's cool. They squashed these guys and completely destroyed them. So, awesome stuff there.
Yep.
Then we had Kylan Kin versus Mafiosa. I got that. I think I got that right.
Mafiosa.
Yeah. Kylan Kin
Does she come out with the main event Mafia as a fucking manager?
Yeah, I hope so. Kylan King completely squashed her. Afterwards, she got interviewed by Shivani because this was to hype up her match with Britt Baker. So this was clearly filmed, at least recently. And she basically talked about how, AEW gave her an opportunity during the pandemic, and brought her in. And she was talking about how she was on TV all the time. But then she wasn't. And she talks about how that happens sometimes. And now she feels like she's on a huge rush of adrenaline after taking Tony Storm to the limit. And she says she's going to do the same thing to Britt Baker. Out came Britt Baker. And Britt Baker talks about how she's sick of hearing her talk. She says that she's been more famous now than Kylan Kidd has ever been. And she basically says that, she's made this show easily more watchable. So Kyla Kin challenges her to have the match right now. Britt Baker then says that she doesn't do dope.
But before you continue, I've had enough of this. Stop fucking calling attention to the things in AEW that clearly need to be worked on and burying them on the live microphone because you think it's going to get a nice pop. That is not how you work on a microphone. That's not how you get people over. That's how you get yourself over, you selfish bitch.
But we'll be talking more about that later.
Yeah, no shit.
So then Kyla Kin challenges her to have the match right now. She said she doesn't do doc. And Kyla Kin then says, well, you've made the effort to fly out here.
Right.
So we're going to do this now. It leads to a big brawl. Kyla Kin throws her into the barricade, big boots her, and has to be pulled off. I thought this was cool, but I didn't expect to see it. It was a good way to build up to the match on Dynamite.
Really good.
Yeah, really good stuff. I wish they showed the footage on Dynamite, though. I think they did, but I wish they kind of
They did, yeah.
Oh, they did. They did.
You'd be forgiven for forgetting, considering so much crap happened on that show.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I also fast forward. I watched it since I'd already seen it. I fast forwarded it because I'd already saw it. So, But yeah, decent episode of Dark here. Excalibur and Taz were really good on commentary. It was too long. An hour and a half of squash matches is too long.
Yeah, no
It should
shit.
have been cut back like a half hour.
I
understand.
stand by what I said last week. They need to change the format of the show in pronto. Otherwise, just make this the Ring of Honor hour or some shit.
Yeah. But you had some. You had a good tag match in here. You had Daniel Garcia versus Weston Blake. You had they actually hyped something up for Dynamite and things. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there was good in here. Just a lot of the fat needed to be trimmed. So
no shit.
Now let's talk about AEW Dynamite for this week, August 23rd, 2022. We had the commentary team of Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Taz. Schiavone wasn't on all night, but he was on. I think he was definitely off. I can't really name when he was on and when he was off because it was he was on sometimes and he was off of it sometimes. So just go watch the show and you'll know when he was on and when he was off because he was definitely flip-flopped a lot this night. I think AEW has definitely proven though that the four-man commentary booth can work if it's the right people because boy can these guys really do these guys do the four-man booth really well. Everyone gets to talk. Everybody gets their shine and everything.
The four-man booth here. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Taz, Excalibur, Schiavone, and Jim Ross. So
yeah, they did really good here.
So yeah, it kicked off this week with a promo segment. It was the choice of Daniel Garcia. Who was Daniel Garcia going to go with? Chris Jericho came out. He basically says everything that he said last week, where he talked about the match that he had with Bryan Danielson, and he talked about how that was a big moment for Daniel Garcia and how he took him under his win. And he says that he understands, why he probably shoved him because, he just fought through a big match, emotions flared and everything. So he's going to give him a chance to apologize. So Daniel Garcia comes out, and Daniel Garcia gets mad at Chris Jericho saying that he took his moment away from him. He got to wrestle his hero, Bryan Danielson, in the ring, and he got to shake his hand. And he took that away from him. And he talks about how he's appreciative of everything that Chris Jericho, has done for him so far on AEW. And Jericho, says, look, you're a great sports entertainer. He doesn't say he's a great wrestler. He says he's a great sports entertainer. But you need to say that you're a sports entertainer. And Daniel Garcia is struggling with this. And then comes Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson's just loving this. He's just loving that the Jericho Appreciation Society is starting to have a little bit of some cracks being formed in there.
Yeah, right.
He comes out and says that Daniel Garcia has proven to him that he's a great professional wrestler. And he talked about how Chris Jericho is getting involved in a business that he doesn't need to get involved in. And, they go back and forth. And eventually Daniel Garcia tells Jericho to lay off. He just needs some time to think. But Jericho wants an answer right now, so Daniel Garcia gets upset about this. He shoves Jericho to the ground, and then this basically leads to Daniel Garcia just going to the back. Jericho's embarrassed. Bryan Danielson's laughing about this, and the promo's not over there. Jericho gets up, and Jericho's like, you think this is funny, Bryan Danielson? Remember the last time you and I were in the ring together? I choked you out, and I put you on the shelf for a month. Might have been 2 months, actually.
And also he's shooting kind of a little here. Obviously this is a work shoot in theory anyway. But he said that he's talking about, I hate this idea of that you're such a great wrestler. I'm the last survivor of Stu Hart's dungeon. I know every hold, and I can stretch you 6 ways to Sunday. And I'm like, wow, yeah. Okay.
Didn't he mention that his wife's making more money than him too, or was that a different promo that I'm thinking of? I'm pretty sure he said it to Bryan Danielson here that his wife's making more money than him. So
probably, probably a shoot, probably true. To be fair,
yeah. So Bryan Danielson challenges Chris Jericho to a match. Jericho says you're going to get the match, but you're going to get the match at All Out. So that match is official at All Out, and Jericho then tells Danielson to continuously watch his back.
Because you never know when I might strike, and then here comes Jake Hager, lariats right to the back of the head, and then the Hager power slam.
They beat down Bryan Danielson, And this set up the match at All Out, and it set up the match this week because we're filming this on Sunday between Bryan Danielson and Jake Hager. So I'm looking forward to seeing both of those matches. We haven't seen those matches.
This was such a great way to kick off the show. This was so compelling. Danielson, Jericho, making this rivalry all about this kid, all about Daniel Garcia, and boy, can Garcia cut a hell of a freaking promo. By the way,
he's awesome.
Here. This was like okay. So we've already discovered this kid can wrestle. This kid can go. He's got a lot of great upside as far as the wrestling ability. How is he as a personality? We now know what he's like unrestricted as a personality. We got a glimpse of that here. Red Death was shown here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the idea that he might be fighting Jericho probably at Full Gear is a good idea. I like that. I like that they're making this feud around Garcia, as opposed to, against each other. It's all about this Garcia stuff, and I hope the end game is he does pick a side or whatever, but he also or maybe he goes rogue and says, I don't want to be known as a sports entertainer. I don't want to be known as a wrestler. I want to be known as Daniel effing Garcia.
Yeah, that could happen too. Yeah,
I could do any of this, and outdo it by both of you. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore, and I'm tired of being used as a scapegoat for your BS problems.
So what would he just be a tweener then when he does go rogue? Yeah,
of course. And you know what? It would work out. I think it would really work out for him. But I could also see him joining the Blackpool Combat Club, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because
no, not at all.
A trio fucking team between Yuta, Garcia, and Danielson would be ridiculous. Would be ridiculous for the Blackpool Combat Club.
The only thing that didn't get mentioned that we thought would get mentioned was obviously Jericho donated to his car crash, but maybe
they're doing it like for real just because they don't want to brag about that on the air. I don't know the moral code.
Yeah, especially
because I know that was supposed to be like on the down low, and it just happened to leak that it was Jericho who donated. So
maybe they were. Maybe, too, they don't want to mention stuff like that, considering the fact, which we'll talk about at the end, all the stuff that's coming out right now about the backstage of AEW that's going to get, that could get lost in there somewhere, so.
Yeah, at this point, maybe.
Then we had the first opening match on the show. It was Dax Howard versus Jay Lethal.
What a great
this match delivered. I want to talk about something I know that no one talked about. Satnam Singh is just getting better, and he's not even wrestling right now. He's just doing the freaking entrance with Jay Lethal. He just gets he has that entertainment factor that I think is just itching to get out.
So funny. I love this guy, man. He's already a good wrestler. We know he's not a stiff in that ring. That much we known since his appearances on Dark and on Rampage. He's good, right? But man, is he entertaining.
Yeah,
this guy cracks me up every time, man.
When he does the Jay Lethal point entrance, it's so awesome the way he does it too.
Because he's fucking massive. So when you see a guy just doing the point, it's just like, bro, you don't need to point for anybody. Who you pointing for, big man?
And also, he just has the facial expression that he has when he does it too is just on point too.
Yeah, man. Dude, I can't wait for him versus Captain Insano. That has to be a thing. Please.
But this was a hell of a match here. Dax Howard just starts dominating Jay Lethal throughout the beginning portions of this matchup. No one's accompanied by their partners or anything like that. I think they just wanted to do this, man-to-man. And then Jay Lethal starts to gain control. He works over the leg of Dax Howard. And eventually, Dax Howard mounts a comeback. He hits a wicked DDT into the ring. Eventually, Sanjay Dutt runs out, and he's distracting Dax Howard. And eventually, both Lethal and Harwood exchange roll-ups, and eventually Lethal grabs the tights and holds the tights of Dax Harwood and gets the win. I thought this was awesome. This really made both guys look good here, and obviously I think both guys went over here because Lethal had to cheat just to get the victory here. So I thought that was really awesome.
Now that's fair enough. However, I have an argument to this. Dax Harwood has a tag team partner. You could have had the tag team partner come out and save him. Saddam Singh could have came out. You could have Wardlow beat him up. I really believe Dax Harwood needed this win more than Jay Lethal did. Jay Lethal's already a made man, right? He doesn't need a win. He doesn't. He needed to lose to Dax here, even if it was by crazy circumstances. Dax deserves some format of wins here. He's been too good not to give some wins to him here. My opinion, anyway.
I typically would agree with you, but you do. I believe this is Lethal's first match since he lost the ROH television title match with Joe, and he also lost the TNT title match.
Didn't he compete on Rampage and other places? I swear he did, and won.
This is also his first match since he lost to the TNT title match with Wardlow. So I think he actually needed the win more here, just to kind of because he's got that TNT match with Wardlow coming up.
It's just it sucks because every time Dax Harwood's there, it's like, man, he always has to take the loss, and it's like, dude, this guy's too good. He's single-handedly had some of the best matches in wrestling.
Yeah, the only one that I think that he should have beaten was probably Ospreay, just because he was out. It was a guy coming out outside the company, but
True.
But anyhow, then it gets awesome after this because then Sanjay Dutt gets on the mic and he's all cocky. And he talked about that trios match coming up at All Out. And we're meant to think that the trios match is going to be, I think we even said it last week, FTR and Wardlow versus Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt. Boy, were we mistaken.
Holy shit, dude.
It's not just going to be Jay Lethal. It's going to be from Impact Wrestling, Motor City Machine Guns.
Bro, and not only... Okay, so Impact Partnership is back on. That's number one.
It looks
That's
like
a big thing. Because they used the Motor City Machine Gun graphics from Impact Wrestling. Like, straight up just took it from Impact. Yep. So, clearly we know that there might be some future things down the line, and maybe they're going to use Impact in a lot more ways going forward. I'm hoping... This means that Fire and Flavor reunite, and Tasha Steelz joins the baddies.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That could be a big thing, and Savannah Evans as a fucking heavy would be pretty good too. Like there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. I know I fantasy book a lot of the time, and they for some reason egos get in the fucking way, and I'm sick of that always happening. And I'll get to that in a minute, but seriously, yeah, I hope this is a good sign for Impact and AEW freaking working together again.
Yeah, I think
work together here.
At the very least, too. If it's like a one-off, we'll get FTR and the freaking Motor City Machine Guns. Not in a full-on tag match, but we're at least gonna see them in the ring together, which is gonna be awesome too.
That's so cool, dude. FTR and
I am on to because obviously too, Motor City Machine Guns were ROH guys at one point, so they could challenge. If they do another ROH pay-per-view, they could challenge for the ROH
maybe
tag
that's what they're building to, and maybe they're working with Impact to build for the next tag title match. I would love to see FTR.
Was the only one.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's so good. Dude, honestly, dead serious, like, freaking have if you can't do Young Bucks, just have Motor City take the belts off of Swerve and Our Glory.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's like the next best thing, honestly, and then just have all the gold on the line at freaking Ring of Honor before Dishonor, honestly.
So then next, Thunder Rosa got interviewed. We're gonna be talking more about this, but we're just gonna talk about what we saw on screen for now. So she gets interviewed, and she's very emotional, and she talks about how basically she's injured. and she has to step away for a while.
Dude, that's so
Um,
heartbreaking, man. Fuck.
yeah, and basically, you know, again though, I think the rant about this though is this made it seem like she was giving up the championship. I'm not gonna rant on Thunder here. I feel like AEW is not the best when it comes to
It's
explaining.
another interim championship deal. That's
Yeah,
where
but
they
they
see we're going to crown an
the,
interim champion at All
but
Out.
they but the way they explained it was it made it seem like she was giving up the title, which I think she's upset. Obviously, she's going to be out of action, but I feel like they need to structure these better. Where because I feel like a lot of people probably thought she was being stripped of the belt because they didn't really do a good job of explaining that. I feel like they need to work on that a little bit. Um, but yeah, they're gonna do it. So now they're
They
gonna
should have
do
had it just in the fucking staging.
yeah.
Getting interviewed by Tony Khan instead of in the back. That would probably help too, to be fair.
But yeah, so now they're gonna do a fatal four-way match. It's gonna be Tony Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida. I assume these are the top four ranked in the rankings, so that's why.
Three of them are. Everybody was screaming out why Hikaru Shida is in the match. The main reason Hikaru Shida is in the match is mainly because she is a champion outside since being away for a little bit. So she's a champion. So they're figured, hey, throw a champion in there. So
why not?
That's her reasoning.
I mean,
and it's not a bad reasoning, to be fair.
To be fair, too, I mean,
you got to keep some of those rankings in check for some of the for the TBS women's title division because for some reason they don't insist on splitting the fucking rankings for those.
I know. I don't even know who else. I mean, the only one I think that's highly ranked. You got to remember, Chris Statlander got injured, so that knocked her off the rankings. And I think Althena, she's probably higher than Shida, but she's focused on the TBS title, so that takes her out. So I think, honestly, Shida is like the next one in line.
Yeah, true. Probably.
I mean, the only one that probably would rival her is probably like Ruby Soho and Anna J, JAS, but I think Tony Khan realizes they're in a feud right now, so they can't. They would be trying to. They would be trying to cost each other the match. So I think they'd rather go with Shida.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, next though was Billy Gunn versus Colton Gunn, father versus son. He was Billy Gunn here. He wasn't just Billy, so I don't know if he's got the rights to that name back recently. I'm assuming because that's recent because he was always Billy.
I'll put it to you this way: Triple H is in charge of WWE, and I'm sure there's no animosity on his end.
Yeah,
that's to tell you all you need to know. So yes, I think that's the short answer to the question.
Yeah, this was a good match here. The Acclaimed came out and did their rap, which was really nice. It was really I'm not saying this rap wasn't as good, but they basically used all the material that they could have used on the Gun Club already. Yeah, so it's kind of tough to.
Again, by the way, debut of the Don DeMarco show right here on this iCard. Check that out. Me and King A-Train from ATW View are actually going to break that down bar for bar and look for those goddamn liners that were uttered in that rap battle, otherwise known as the Don DeMarcos. Bang, bang.
But yeah, the match started off. Billy Gunn dominated Colton Gunn throughout the beginning portion of this matchup. Eventually, he got worked over. They worked over his leg. He worked over his leg for a while, and then eventually Billy Gunn started to make a comeback. But then he got to a point where he was just getting so aggressive, and I like that Aubrey Edwards was the ref here because they're pretty close when it comes to their matches and stuff.
Yes.
She has to even talk him down. That's your son, man. That's your child. And Billy Gunn starting to question himself.
It was something I genuinely didn't care. I thought they told everything they needed to tell with this story. I wasn't looking forward to this, and then they hooked me with the story.
And then
they did a complete 180 for me. I like the way everybody played their part here was masterful.
Yeah,
I love that Billy is frustrated with this kid turning on him. I love that he's
frustrated,
feeling betrayed and wanting tough love and all that. I love that Colton is pissed because it's you're hogging our spotlight and you've been holding us back for so long. I love that aspect
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
awesome.
I love Arbery getting involved and because she's refed every single Gun Club match, and she's like, "That's your fucking son." I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this is really compelling.
And then
Oh,
doing this,
and then Stokely coming out, the freaking interference. Stokely just looking like a fucking slime ball. Like, really
yeah,
well done.
he hits Max Caster in the back with the speaker, and then this distracts Billy, and it allows Colton Gunn to hit his finish. I believe it's like a double underhook like slam, whatever.
Yeah,
And then
it's the Colt 35.
and then Colton Gunn wins, which I predicted would happen. And then afterwards, the Gun Club, well, I guess they're not the Gun Club anymore, but so Austin and Colton Gunn start attacking Billy and the Acclaimed, and then Swerve and Glory run out to make the save. And, afterwards, they have a face-off with the Acclaimed, and later on backstage, they challenge them to a tag title match at All Out, and the match was made official. I liked all of this up until like Swerve and Glory.
I will say, the fact that we're even getting this on the pay-per-view and there's really no heat to build up to it is what the fuck. But
Yeah, it's
there
weird.
is a chance they could save it. This week, a rap battle, whether it's on Rampage or Dynamite, needs to take place specifically between Swerve Strickland and Max Caster, because I think Swerve could actually give him a run for his money here.
Yeah. It did make sense to go with them because they all on a winning streak, but I just think it was kind of a lazy way. Because it was also kind of weird because, like, the Gun Club, the Acclaimed, also just got laid out, and the Gun Club just got, like, a couple of big wins.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to do a triple threat because they've done a lot of triple threat tag matches lately. So I think they want to, finally do a one-on-one match. So I guess this is fine. I think the match will be a banger. And I'm really not sure who's going to win that match. I think it's probably going to be Swerve and Glory because they're still in the midst of their title run, but you never know. So, because, if you're going to put the belts on the Acclaimed, I guess this is the perfect time to do it. So,
yeah.
Next we had Kylan Kin versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Really good match here. Not as good as the Tony Storm match, but this was still pretty good stuff here. Britt Baker won. The match was a bit short.
Match was a bit short, but I'm just glad that Kylan King was on AEW and got to showcase what she could do. It's about damn time for her.
Yeah, I think she should get. I think she's gonna get signed.
Sure. I mean, she can't do any worse than what she's doing in the fucking NWA right now.
I don't know what
that company is fucked up.
But I know this is random. I just saw, why the hell are they putting in the NWA USA tag titles? Why do they need 2 sets of tag titles? That doesn't really make
I don't know. They're trying to fucking go back to the glory days, which, by the way, they weren't the glory days. The glory days was when they had less titles and not more, by the way. But,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a dumb... Dude, they barely have a roster as it is.
that's what I'm saying.
They barely have a roster. The roster that they do have is fucking terrible.
Yeah, but anyhow,
the only thing worth a damn is that women's division, and then they're trying to make a bunch of titles for them too, where they barely have enough women.
By the way, I saw the results. By the way, I know this is off topic, but I saw Matt Cardona lost to some nobody that I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Wasn't Matt?
I don't know. There's apparently some shoot shit going on between Billy Corgan and Matt Cardona too, or whatever. Probably because I don't know. You fucking treated him like a fucking joke. And, I don't know, Aldis was probably burying him behind fucking Corgan's back, even though he was, like, the biggest fucking draw they had. And now that's completely diminished. Through no fault of his own, by the way, with Cardona.
The biggest thing I remember, well, sort of, because he worked out the spot that got him hurt, but
yeah,
the biggest thing I remember, do you remember, I don't know if you remember, it was, like, right before the match, Aldis and Cardona were, like, having, like, a face-off. And Aldis wouldn't even let Cardona get, like, a word in. He was just burying him the whole time. It was so bad. But anyhow, we're not here to talk about NW. We're not here to talk about NWA right now.
Yep.
But anyhow, going back to...
Glad I'm not watching this shit.
I don't remember what I was talking about. What were we talking about?
I don't remember now. That thing threw me off.
We were talking to Britt Baker.
Yeah,
so,
that's why. Yeah.
Britt Baker gets on the mic.
Fuck. You saved that later. Save that later. We'll get to it.
Well, I got to talk about because it's part of the show.
Yeah,
so.
all right, fine, fuck.
So she gets on the mic and basically talks about how she's the biggest draw in the women's division, and she mentions that now that there's going to be a 4-way match to become the interim champion, and she finds it kind of funny that Thunder Rosa can't show up because she's injured, but yet she wrestled her whole title reign with a broken arm, which I'm pretty sure isn't the case.
No,
I'm pretty sure
you
there
had
was
a broken wrist, honey. That's
Yeah.
not the same fucking thing as a
I'm
goddamn bulging disc in your back.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure she, half of the last, few months of her reign, her arm was fine. But anyhow, and then she starts talking shit about Toni Storm. Toni Storm comes out. She gets attacked from behind by Jamie Hayter, and they both start beating down her Rebel, or Reba, sometimes Rebel, whatever. And Britt Baker start attacking Toni Storm, and then Hikaru Shida runs out and chases them off. So nice way to set up their 4-way match, I guess. Again, the match is random, but obviously with Thunder Rosa getting hurt, they kind of had to throw that together. So I kind of wish they would have done maybe that as the Casino ladder match because they haven't even announced any competitors for it yet. But whatever. Your thoughts on the Kylan Kin Britt Baker match and everything that followed that?
The match was great. The promo was shit, and I'll get to why later. Because by the way, spoiler alert, it was a fucking shoot, not a work. We'll get to why later.
Then we had the match that everyone was looking forward to, and then when it happened, I feel bad for Noah because he was there live for this. I'm not saying I hated it, but
Well, Noah enjoyed it. Noah enjoyed it mainly because his boy got the belt, Cincinnati Tile Boy, which is fine.
But
the way they went about it though was fucked.
We had the undisputed AEW World Championship match. It was AEW World Champion CM Punk versus Interim World Champion Jon Moxley.
Yep.
So the match happens. They start chain wrestling for a bit. And then CM Punk hits a high kick onto Jon Moxley. He starts selling his leg or his foot since, that was what was injured. And then Jon Moxley takes advantage of it. And then he hits the 2 Death Riders in a row onto CM Punk. And he gets the pin, gets the win in probably 5 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird match. Obviously, I get what they were doing.
We know it's a story now because Punk has been.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to why I think this fucking backfired on their ass later, but it started with Evil Uno quenching the fire, but everything of this work shoot thing has been a complete misfire. However, apparently there's a bigger story idea that they had in mind. Apparently Punk has a losing streak in Cleveland because it is... Okay, so fun fact here. The idea was, he walked out of WWE in Cleveland. He lost in the UFC in Cleveland. So the idea was, lose in minutes flat to Moxley because he caught him in a bad day and you came back too quick in Cleveland. So, again, they've been telling that story now. Punk has since, come out with that. I don't have those notes on what I have on my graphic, but basically he's saying it's just a different way of storytelling.
What I do like about it is if it leads to this, it could lead to a CM Punk heel turn. He's frustrated that he lost that quick, and he could or
they do Moxley. I know they're looking to do a Moxley Punk rematch at Chicago. Maybe they're trying to have Punk go in.
Yeah.
To Chicago to win the belt back, and then it sets up between MJF and him, even if it's Moxley at this point, as long as MJF comes back, I don't care.
Yeah, but I didn't completely hate this just because I understand what they were going for here, and I like what they did here where CM Punk probably came back too soon. That's a storyline that happens a lot in the UFC where the guy comes back too soon, so I like that wrestling tried to tell that story. And, it kind of makes sense because John Moxley's been out there, like, wrestling every week. He's got the cardio and everything right now. So I like what they did here. And afterwards, I like that, he even Moxley did a promo even throwing shade on Punk, saying that was really what the best in the world had to offer. Pathetic. And he basically says that no one's going to knock him off of, off the top of the mountain of AEW, pretty much. I like, too, afterwards that he threw CM Punk's title belt to the ground, showing the disrespect that he had for CM Punk. So...
That was fucking great. God damn.
So yeah, while the match was weird to watch, I do like what they were going for here.
It could be a good story as long as this is story, and I don't know where they go, but
yeah,
we'll see Wednesday. I'll wait, but I can tell you, watching it, I was originally pissed. I'm just starting to kind of come around to the idea of like, okay, maybe there's a greater story to be told here. I didn't even factor in that Punk had a losing streak in Cleveland and had bad luck in Cleveland. I didn't even think about that, really. So that's fair enough, but fuck me. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then next, Christian Cage got interviewed, and he talked about what Jungle Boy did to him, how it was like a heinous act. How dare Jungle Boy do this to him? And basically, he accepts Jungle Boy's challenge for a match at All Out. And he said that he's going to show Jungle Boy the Christian Cage that will do anything it takes to survive. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. Because, a lot of people are thinking that Luchasaurus is going to turn on Jungle Boy and join up with Christian Cage. I hope they kind of don't do that because, it really wouldn't make sense at this point now. The only reason I think people are saying that is because Luchasaurus hasn't changed. Like, he's just kept the gimmick that he had when he was with Christian Cage. But I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen. Mainly because I don't want Luchasaurus to go heel because he's awesome. And I don't want to boo him. And also, too, it just wouldn't make sense. Because, it'd be too much flip-flopping around.
No shit, yeah.
They could do something where, like, Christian Cage wins in, like, a big guy, though, and takes out Luchasaurus or something. That could be something cool. Maybe Brian Cage comes back, because it doesn't...
Tomko? Oh, my God, if Tomko
comes out,
I would lose my mind if they...
That could happen, too, yeah.
I think he's out of prison, right?
I didn't even know he was in prison, so...
He was, yeah, for a while. I don't know if he's out... I don't know if he's been out since, but... I know he got in, like, trouble for something. I don't remember. Unless... well, actually, let me check, and you continue while I look this up, because I don't want... If he's accused of some ska shit, I don't want to fucking say that. So hold on, Tyson, Tomko. Continue.
I was talking about the next bit. Ricky Starks comes out and cuts a promo, and oh my gosh, it was what a promo! I expected it to be good, but I did not expect like this to be as good as it was. Just because I've been duped before when it came to a Team Taz feud. That wasn't the best. This is much better than the Brian Cage feud that he had. Mainly because it's getting like more TV time and stuff. He comes out and he talks about how he felt like him and Powerhouse Hobbs were on top of the world. He says, you don't have a lot of friends in this business, but he felt like Powerhouse Hobbs was one of his friends. And he talks about how Powerhouse Hobbs was basically riding Ricky Starks' coattails because without Ricky Starks' success, Powerhouse Hobbs doesn't eat. He talks about how he brought him into Team Taz and he molded Powerhouse Hobbs. He talks about, how Powerhouse Hobbs saw that Ricky Starks, was starting to go on a losing streak and he got scared and that's why he took out Ricky Starks. And I even loved how he mentioned the neck injury, how he was like one of the first people that called him and he called him every day. And of all places that Powerhouse Hobbs chose to go for, he went for Ricky Starks' neck. And, like, Ricky Starks was actually, like, getting emotional when he was cutting his promo, too. Like, he was almost in tears. And he challenges Powerhouse Hobbs to a match at All Out. Which I'm glad they're doing a match. I thought they'd go into the casino ladder match, but I actually am kind of glad that they're going to have a one-on-one match. Because I feel like if, the storyline is more personal than a world champ, like, fight for an opportunity at a world championship or whatever right now. So... I'm really looking forward to that match. I do wonder if that match is only being put on the show just because, they can't do the Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara match now, or if that was always going to be put on the show. And, obviously it's getting more TV time now because they don't have Eddie Kingston right now, which we'll talk about. But we'll have to wait. What do you think? Do you think this was always going to be put on All Out? Do you think because they had to take off a match that this match is taking the place of Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara?
I'm cool with it. You know what? I'm more invested in this anyway after what I heard about the backstage turmoil there.
Yeah.
So put a feud that doesn't involve that. That's fine.
What do you think it was always meant to be? Do you think it was always going to?
I think it was. I think that spot was meant for Sammy and Ricky, but or Sammy and Kingston. But
yeah,
obviously that didn't happen. And quite frankly, this had more heat anyway. This fucking feud.
Then we had the main event. What a main event this was. It was Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open.
By the way, update on Tomko. He was arrested, but he was arrested in 2011 because he stole a ton of oxycodone from a CVS and tried to inject it. So it was basically he had a wicked bad drug problem that he was arrested for, and it led to a robbery. I believe it was in 2011, so he's got to be out by now.
Yeah.
I would imagine he comes back.
But yeah, we had Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open in the trios semifinals match in the trios tag title tournament.
No, isn't it quarterfinals? I swear it was semifinals.
That is
next week.
Yeah, it is quarterfinals.
Yeah.
They did an interview together backstage where they were both just talking shit to each other. Where Pac was talking about how he's been chasing after Will Ospreay for a while, and same thing for Will Ospreay, which was really cool. And I'm glad that New Japan finally rised up and had Will Ospreay show up with the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship.
About fucking time. And
I get they were doing a storyline at the time, but it just was so stupid to not have him show up with that championship.
And
like
then,
he legit.
And by the way, Davis and Fletcher, New Japan Strong Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, that was
might be another one for FTR to go for.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't enter the tournament for the Strong.
Well, I mean, they're already
title.
IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
That's true.
So, but now that the tournament's over, maybe you have them try to get the belts.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
The other thing that sucks is you'd have to find a way to not spoil that. Like you couldn't do that match on Strong because Strong's taped too far in advance.
Yeah,
so.
you would have to do that on Dynamite probably.
But anyhow, we had the match, and what a match that it was. This is just one of those matches that where I say you just have to go watch it, because I could just not do this match justice. It's such a great match.
So good.
I couldn't believe... I, in a sense, couldn't believe how good this match was, just because I thought, I'm not the biggest fan of Aussie Open the past few times I've seen them, but they've really stepped up in this match. I think mainly because they were working with Lucha Bros, so I think they didn't have a choice.
But man, it's funny because I think the last time we saw United Empire at all, it was with, at least for me, it was with Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, who I always thought were a weird team anyway.
Yeah. This team, this team was awesome. This is the team that should have been in that three-way match at Forbidden Door instead of...
No question, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll just talk about the finish. So, Pac does a moonsault to the outside. And we see who we think is Kip Sabian ringside. And I like how they did this, because obviously they already ruined their surprise, but then they made it into another surprise. So, Pac takes the box off of who we think is going to be Kip Sabian, but it's not Kip Sabian. It's just some random guy I think he kidnapped or something and put into this box. And then Kip Sabian attacks Pac from behind and hits a swinging neck breaker while holding his leg onto the floor. And the ref didn't see this because he was dealing with Pentagon Jr. or something, because he got injured or something. Not injured, but he had to check on him. And Kip Sabian just leaves, so there's your All Atlantic title program coming up pretty soon. And then afterwards, immediately following this, Will Ospreay and Aussie Open hit their finish on It was like a double wheelbarrow suplex into like an Aussie cutter, like an
It was a
oxy cutter.
wheelbarrow facebuster into the Oz cutter.
Yeah,
That's
it
what it was.
was,
Double wheelbarrow facebuster into the Oz cutter.
and
Oh,
they
before
get.
that, they did a fucking triple bullhammer from all sides onto the chrome
Oh
dome.
my gosh, it was
That
so
was
good.
so brutal, dude. Wow. Like they
And
did
you know,
shit
well,
you have never seen before. This 6-man
yeah,
division is going to be their cruiserweight division in AEW. No question. This,
yeah,
and the difference here is, but with the cruiserweight division, it was pigeonholed because of because of the title. This is not going to be pigeonholed for anybody.
no,
This is going to create some future single stars as time goes on. Will Ospreay's already one for this company.
yeah.
They better sign him, and Triple H better not get him first, because if Triple H gets him first, boy, are you in
Yeah.
trouble. You know?
Especially that might happen too, because
'Cause this guy's phenomenal. Like he
Well, I'm
really
saying
is
that-
great.
there is a chance WWE could get him because they have him and B Priestley still a fit, like still in a relationship, Osprey, because they already have B Priestley, so they might end up getting Will Osprey because he could want to go there and be with his girlfriend and everything. So
Yeah, it depends though. It's not always.
Yeah.
That black and white. I mean, Renee might be back in WWE by now, just
Yeah.
because. And Moxley's having the run of his life in AEW, so
yeah, we never know.
why stop
But
at
anyway-
that, you know?
But yeah, Will Ospreay and Aussie Open win. I didn't expect this, just because I expected them just to be a team for a week, but with what we ended up getting, I kind of wish I
Man,
had
we're getting the
changed my
elite. We're
bracket.
getting the elite versus United Empire. We're getting the
Yeah.
elite
The
versus
good-
Aussie Open and Will Ospreay.
The only thing I wish, I mean, obviously Aussie Open's a great team. I wish they had a TJP and his other tag team partner. That's they're the IWGP Junior Tag Champions. It's his other tag team. I just want TJP involved in this. He would be awesome in this.
Yeah, true. That is true. I forgot they were actually part of the United Empire too.
Yeah. But anyhow, afterwards, Don Callis and who was doing commentary, the Elite come out, and you didn't see this live. I wish they had time to air this live. If you go on YouTube, you can see this. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega shot on each other like so hard. Like, remember how I said CM
I
Punk?
need to see this.
Yeah, remember how I said CM Punk did a shotgun? They both grabbed machine guns and they were shooting on each other. They shot on each other hard. Basically, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega gives him a chance to shoot on him and send the fans home happy. And Will Ospreay shoots on Kenny Omega by talking about how he's done everything in New Japan faster than Kenny Omega has. He's basically become like a big household name. He talks about how he worked with a broken wrist. Well, Kenny Omega couldn't even work through his injuries. It was just insane. And then Kenny Omega, oh my gosh, like I don't understand why some people thought this guy couldn't talk. Like Kenny Omega just shot so hard on Will Ospreay, talking about how
I gotta hear this now. I didn't even know this
Yeah.
was a thing. I did hear they shot on each other. I just didn't know it was off the air. Is there a YouTube
Kenny
clip
Omega-
from their YouTube
Did it-
channel?
yeah, it's on their YouTube channel.
Oh,
Kenny Omega was
okay.
shooting on Will Ospreay, talking about how he had a 7-star match with Okada, how he beat Okada, how he basically set the stage for Will Ospreay, and he's done nothing with it. It was just insane. Like they were just shooting hard on each other, and it's continued on Twitter where they're just shooting hard on each other. Like it's
I like
This
it.
is-
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. These
This-
guys are gonna have a hell of a trios match. Wednesday.
Yeah.
Please don't do what you fucking did with Punk and Moxley for this one, because this needs to go the full
Yeah.
length of the match.
Yeah, this was awesome. Now I know we're gonna talk about like work shoot. This was definitely a work shoot. I
Yeah, it
definitely
had to be.
think.
Come on. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that. That was
They wouldn't have put it on their YouTube channel if it wasn't.
yeah.
So.
That was AEW Dynamite. I'm gonna give the AEW Dynamite an A. It was like a hell of a show.
It was a. Again, I would, if you would have asked me Thursday, I probably would have rated this a B minus, and I think it did on the Daily Slam. I'm gonna give this an A now, only because it looks like they're gonna tell the story. They're gonna finish it up in Chicago. Punk's gonna regain the title. And then they're gonna fucking do the what do you
Yeah.
call it? The MJF Punk promo. Thank God,
Yeah.
I'm hoping at this point. Now I don't
We'll
even
see.
know.
Yeah.
There's a reason I say that, by the way. This I will get to why in a minute after
Yeah.
Rampage.
But yeah, you had a hell of a main event though. You had Billy Gunn versus Colton Gunn was even good.
Yeah,
The only thing that's not
Billy Gunn and Colton Gunn was the best storytelling in the night, which
Yeah.
surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah. Hell, you had some really good promos with Jericho and
Danielson and Garcia.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah, Ricky Starks.
I always love when Jericho calls him that.
He's so good. Yeah, well, because he's making fun of Taz and ribbing him.
Yeah.
That's why.
He doesn't do that anymore though because Team Taz is over. So
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, going on a Rampage though. It wasn't House of the Dragon. I didn't update my notes from that, but it was just whatever. I think it was like the 25th of August because if it was the 23rd Dynamite, so it would be the 25th.
Yeah.
We had the first match. It was the trios match for the quarterfinals. It was the semifinals in the Rampage brackets. I like how they had Rampage brackets and Dynamite brackets. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty good, yeah. I like that.
It was House of Black versus Dark Order. It was like Order. This was kind of weird here because on Dynamite, I believe, I might be mistaken, they didn't have 10. He was supposed to be like a mystery partner, so I thought they were going to have Heyman Adam Page replace him. But then 10 was just ended up being in the match anyways, so I don't really know what happened there. He had some type of injury scare, and they didn't know if he was going to be able to make the match or not. But,
oh, wow, okay.
But it's also weird because it's a tape show, so I don't know if it was like, I don't know what happened there.
It's whatever. Yeah, just whatever. Cool.
But the weirdest thing was the fact that House of Black were there, just because like Miro beat the crap out of Buddy Matthews last week, and then he also beat the crap out of Malachi Black, we think, last week. So it kind of didn't make sense that they like would just heel. It was really weird. Maybe they were hoping that like the the Undisputed Era were going to be ready, but then they weren't ready, so they just kind of nixed whatever they were going to do. So if that's the case, then so be it. Really good match here.
Yeah, I mean, when you get these two trios, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, both trios, this is the biggest tribute to what the Dark Order could have been versus what the Dark Order became. And, Brody was kind of the hybrid in between, so this is a really cool match here.
Yeah, I love seeing the face-off with Ken and Brody Ken. That was really cool.
So good, yeah. Yep.
And, it was breaking down into chaos. It looked like that the House of Black were going to win, but then eventually Miro came out, and he started laying waste to Buddy Matthews and Brody Kin, and it wasn't a DQ because he didn't attack like the legal guy in the match, which I like that AEW
I like
stuck
that
to
they did that. I'm so glad that that's a thing. That always should be a thing in tag team matches. You attack the illegal guy, it shouldn't count.
Unless you
the
hit
illegal
I
guy
feel like,
is fair game.
Yeah, unless you do like hit him with a chair or something, because I feel like that
right.
should be
A weapon, fair, but if you're illegal, that's fine.
And then allowed Alex Reynolds to roll up Malachi Black, and the Dark Order advanced, which I actually kind of like that they did that. I like that,
okay, there is a problem only in... Here's my issue with it, though. A roll-up shouldn't have beat Malachi Black.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
I understand he got distracted, but they could have done that a better way than they did. Like, okay... So after that happens, say the referee's distracted and they're trying to get the fucking guys out of there that are attacking the illegal guys or whatever. Have the referee do the turnaround. Have Hangman come in, do the buckshot lariat to Malachi, and then Alex Reynolds gets to win. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that would.
Now we can have some program between Malachi Black and Hangman Page. That's fine. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, continuing. Afterwards, Miro does the best he can to fight off the House of Black, but the numbers just overwhelm him. Malachi Black hits Black Mass onto Miro. And then they go to, attack him some
What
more.
do they call it? Because I keep calling it Black Mass, but it might be something different completely.
Yeah, I think it's something else, but I like the Black Mass more, so I'm gonna keep calling it that.
Yeah. What was it? Freaking. Fuck. Man.
I think it's just a high kick at the moment. So
No, they had a finisher name for it. I just can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Yeah, Black Mass, whatever it is.
Then Stin and Darby Allin come out and they send House of Black packing. I'm guessing we're getting another trios match. I don't think they're gonna do it at All Out. I could see them doing it on the Dynamite after All Out, just because.
Miro, Sting, and Darby versus the House of Black. That's fine.
Or I could see them going into Casino ladder match and they all do something there.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, so it could be Malachi. It could be Malachi Black. It could be Hangman. It could be
Darby.
It could be Miro. That's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that. Maybe they could if they're running out of names they could put in for the 7 people that they usually bring in for this type of match, they should bring back, like, Clark Connors.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would really like to see him back.
They should bring in, I don't know if he's back yet, but Tomohiro Ishii, because he never...
Tomohiro Ishii should get his shine, yeah, true.
He at least should be come in and face Pac for the All-Atlantic title, because he never... got an opportunity for that championship.
I agree.
He had to pull out
on Dynamite, or you could even get it away with it on Strong. I would like that
a
lot, actually.
Do it on Strong and then show it on Dark. So,
I'm convinced too he was supposed to win that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm convinced he was going to win that, and he was going to defend it in Japan at first, and then they had to call an audible after he got hurt, so they put it on Pac.
Yeah, because I don't think Clark Connors would have been ready for that. So
although he's really good.
Yeah. But anyhow, but yeah, I do think we're gonna get that trios match though with House of Black versus Stin, Darby, and Miro in the future at least.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. I like the face one of Miro. I just think he's been turning face. The only time he's been on is when it's been Rampage, when like the crowd's kind of dead. Like he needs to come out and like a big ovation. So that way,
I agree with that. But hey, you know what? It's Miro's back. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Afterwards, Hook gets interviewed, and he gets asked what he thinks about 2.0 going after his FTW championship, and Hook just says he doesn't care, and 2.0 come up and just talk shit to Hook. I thought it was hilarious because he like walked off camera and then
Could you imagine if because everybody talks about Hook. I think Danielson did mention Hook.
He did, yeah. I think he did, yeah.
So could you imagine him in the Blackpool Combat Club as a fucking FTW champion? That means William Regal, in theory, has 3 world champions in this fucking faction. That's ridiculous. This dude's a genius.
By the way, did you hear that AEW did what they wanted? We got to pose with all of them with the belts. I don't know if you saw that picture yet.
Fuck yeah, I gotta see that.
I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Yeah, please. That's cool.
But
I
anyhow,
assume they wanted to wait until after Moxley won. That's fair enough. Yeah, cool.
But afterwards, the 2.0 just start talking shit to what's his name, Hook. And one of the lines that they said that I really like was Matt Menard mentioned that that Hook has a lot of pressure on him right now because he has to defend that FTW championship all the time, and it's going to expose him a little bit. So they're going to take the title away from him.
Sure. Bro, this dude is more than ready TV-wise. This guy is the fucking future of the business. Are you kidding me? Have you seen his matches? Dude, this dude has... I don't know what they've done with him, but he could go 30 minutes with Danielson if you put him in a match with him. Guaranteed. Yeah.
I don't think he hasn't gone that long in matches yet, but I honestly believe he could.
This guy's more than ready for something like that. You could tell he's just like, I love what they're doing right now, where he's just freaking he's not getting paid by the hour. I love that aspect of it. But man, dude, like this could be big for him.
The only thing,
when he finally has that freaking belter of a match, that's gonna make him a big time star, for sure.
Yeah, because I just wonder how his selling will be because he hasn't had to sell a whole lot yet. So,
Yeah, well, he won't have a choice if he fights a guy like Danielson.
I know. I just love how 2.0 is calling him out, saying he'll be exposed. No offense to 2.0, but I think Hook's honestly better than them right now. He's that good.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He's better than a lot of people.
Yeah. Then next we had a TNT Championship match. It was Wardlow versus Ryan Nemeth. This made sense to do this in the sense that it was in Cleveland. It was in both their hometowns, so I think they wanted to have them both have a match with each other.
I guess. I didn't understand otherwise why they
Ryan Nemeth came out and started talking shit about Wardlow and Cleveland. Not his best promo. He is not Dolph Ziggler on the mic, and I can't believe it. And this is me saying that, by the way, too.
Ziggler fucking schools his brother here on the microphone.
Yeah. I don't know what wrestling school.
Nick Nemeth is far and away beyond.
I've been with. Hey, you know what? One thing Ryan Nemeth did, I made me realize I was hating on the Ron Nemeth. So, there you go.
Yeah,
Wardlow comes out, and Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Sanjay Dutt, and Chris Sabin, which was awesome. Out there. And Ryan Nemeth continuously starts talking shit about Wardlow. And Wardlow just destroys Ryan Nemeth, hits 3 powerbombs on him, retains the belt. This was still good stuff. It just made me want to see Dolph Ziggler versus Wardlow when it matters. Ziggler would have sold these powerbombs much better.
Yeah. And Ryan did a good job. Don't get me wrong. He did sell his ass off. It's just mad. Something about Nick Nemeth selling, dude.
No, it's Ryan. You had it right, Ryan Nemeth. Yeah.
Well, no, there's something about Nick Nemeth selling that's exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Compared to Ryan. Ryan, I don't know what it is about him, but there's something off about it. He's trying to be. It's like he's trying to be Dolph, but he's not. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest advice I can give him is just do your own thing, because I feel like everything he's trying to do is everything that Dolph did.
Does, yeah. Do something with Varsity Blondes. Please take them to the Promised Land. Fuck.
Yeah. And even then, it's not like I don't even if he goes to the Varsity Blondes, would they even get to the Promised Land? Because it's not like he's doing anything.
He's not doing anything, but quite frankly, I mean, it can't be any worse than what the two teams are doing right now. I mean, he needs to get away from. He needs to get away from that BS, and Varsity Blondes need to go for some sort of titles. If that means trios, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. One thing I hope we get out of this is, since we've seen Sabin, I want to see Sabin versus maybe Dax, or Sabin versus Wardlow for the TNT title. That'd be
personally,
cool.
After the performance he had against Alexander, I personally would like to see Alex Shelley versus Dax Harwood.
Yeah, that'd be good
that
too.
Would be great.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen Shelley show up yet, so I don't know. And it's looking
watch his match on Impact. His match on Impact with Josh Alexander was fucking awesome. I got a chance to watch it earlier today.
Well, I'm saying we haven't seen Shelley show up on Dynamite yet as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah. So it looks like Motor City are going to be heels, though, because Sabin seemed like he was a heel, which is going to be kind of weird, because aren't they faces at Impact? So that's going to be kind of a conflict.
Hey, you know what? Technically, Dragon Lee was a heel, too, and then they fucking turned on him, so that's probably...
That's true, yeah. Maybe that could happen, here, yeah. Maybe, what will happen is after they lose the trios match, if they do lose, Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt will turn on Motor City Machine Guns, and they'll have it will build to a match on Dynamite or Rampage or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then AFO did an interview backstage, and Lexi Nail brings up all the setbacks that they had, and Andrade Alito talks to Private Party and says that he's disappointed in them, that they lost, and I like how Isaiah Cassidy shot back at Andrade Alito, saying that he also lost, and I like that they said, we didn't lose, Dragon Lee lost, which is true.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
So basically, Andrade Alito tells them that those actions have consequences. So I think we're getting a turn at some point, and we're gonna get a Private Party Andrade Alito Roosh tag match.
Yeah, for sure. I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
I mean, the only thing that
I love how the poor freaking Butcher and Blade are just so they're a non-factor in the storyline.
Yeah. The only thing that's gonna suck is I have a feeling that Private Party is probably gonna lose that feud because they need to give
You know
Lucian
what
and
though?
Andrade
I'm not so
though.
sure. I'm not so sure. If they turn him babyface, that could change. That could change things.
Yeah, it looks like they're going babyface. So, um, then we had Powerhouse Hobb versus Ashton Day squash,
Yeah.
enjoyable squash. Um, afterwards, after Powerhouse Hobbs won, he won with a spine buster. Ricky Starks is shown on the screen, and we found out that the factory beat him down and basically said that they came through for. I almost said Warlow, but they came through for Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall. Anthony Ogogo was gonna do his was gonna punch Ricky Starks in the ribs, but QT Marshall said he wanted this one, and he took his watch, wrapped it around his hand, and just punched Ricky Starks right in the ribs with it. So,
Yeah. I'm not.
enjoyable
I'm not.
stuff.
So what? Did Anthony Ogogo? Anthony Ogogo looked a little perturbed that he did that, right?
Yeah, they've been doing kind of like little subtle storyline things where, like
Yeah.
Anthony Ogogo like tripped because of a member of the factory by accident at one point. So maybe he's slowly gonna leave the
Okay.
faction.
I hope
So
to God, please. He's too
yeah.
good. He's too talented. Put him somewhere that isn't this.
Um. Yeah, pretty enjoyable stuff here. The only thing that sucked about it was Jericho was so annoying on commentary doing this that it just kind
Yeah,
of ruined it.
as he is every fucking week.
Um. Then we had Jay Cargill get interviewed. She fired Layla Gray as a baddie, sort of.
What?
She really wasn't a baddie. Because she says that she wasn't, useful.
I skipped this, I guess. Or
Um,
no. Oh, you know what happened? I went to the bathroom when this
Oh.
happened. I had no
and
idea.
then,
Okay, so,
yeah, so
okay,
then,
let's just call it as I see it here. Because this makes no sense. Why are you firing Layla Gray? What was the reasoning? She did her job.
she hasn't been holding up her end.
She didn't hold up her end. She held the frickin' Athena down while she destroyed the frickin' wings of Athena to get under her skin.
Yeah.
What do you mean she hasn't held up her? She just did that week.
I know. I don't understand that. Yeah.
What? Because she broke free? That's her fault? Hey, guess what? It takes two to tango in that regard. Kira Hogan failed too by proxy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The only reason I could come up with why they're doing this is maybe Red Velvet's coming back soon, so maybe they want to, But I don't understand why they can't have three baddies. That doesn't really make sense.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, Layla Gray, whatever. I mean, she was they did the whole interim baddie, whatever. Yeah. I assume, personally, if it were me, this is how I book the baddies. You have 3 women's single stars that you could do because you have 3 sets of women's championships. I would bring in Tasha Steelz, like I said.
Yeah.
So that way you could have Fire and Flavor go for the Impact Knockouts tag titles. I would have Red Velvet go for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. And have Savannah Evans go for the Impact Knockouts tag championship. I'd have... and then to round it out, I'd have... If she's not signed yet, and if she gets released, just for whatever... I would have Mercedes... Miss Mercedes, the former Sasha Banks, come in. If she's not signed with WWE by this point already. Who the fuck knows at this point?
Yeah, we don't know yet. We won't know until... If she doesn't show up at All Out, that means she's not signed.
Yeah, well, it's a period as well. I mean, she can't sign anyway because she's under contract anyway. She was just trying to... She was still under... she was still doing the lawyer thing to get out of the contract at the time, but now Triple H has taken over, and I think they put that on hold. So I don't know what's going on yet.
But anyhow, after Kayla Hogan escorts Layla Gray out of there, Jade Cargill challenges Athena to come face her for the TBS Women's Championship, and Athena attacks her and accepts the match. So, good stuff here. I'm thinking Athena's probably going to win the title because I really don't know who else can break Jade's streak at this point, and we probably need to get this title up.
You just got to get the belt off her. Yeah, it sucks because realistically, it should have been Statlander And if it wasn't going to be Statlander, it should have been freaking Kayla Rossi or Camille. Somebody of her size and stature should have dethroned her.
Yeah.
But that ship sailed now. I mean, NWA is what it is, and Kayla Rossi, I don't even know how long she's fucking sticking around because they don't do anything with her, even though she's fucking great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just get the belt to Athena at this point. Who cares?
Yeah. Then we had Ty Mello and Sammy Guevara versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho. I don't necessarily hate the fact that they did this match. I just thought they should have saved this like as a main event.
At this point, they should have saved it for All Out because now Sammy has nothing to do for the pay-per-view.
All Out, or they should have done it like the go-home week of All Out at least.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. You take this one. It was what it was.
Really good, very good match here. The baby faces dominate the heels in the beginning, and then eventually Ty Mello starts getting the heat on Ruby Soho. Ty Mello did look better in this match. I remember she was kind of rusty when she had the Sky Blue Dante Martin match because she hadn't wrestled in a while. So she did look better in this match. Then eventually Ortiz got the hot tag, and he started going off onto Sammy Guevara. And eventually it looked like that they were going to get the win, but then Anna JAS comes out and throws Ruby Soho into the steps, which distracts Ortiz. And Ortiz hits a high knee, followed by the go to hell, whatever it's called, the burning hammer into the knee to the head.
Yes, yeah.
And Sammy Guevara wins, and because of this, Jericho made everybody that was out there the sports entertainer of the week, which is annoying because sometimes he's giving that to baby faces, so I don't understand what he's doing there.
It's called Jericho doesn't know what the fuck he's doing behind the booth. Get him the fuck off! God damn it.
And then, I didn't really mind this too much. I feel like, though, Ortiz and Ruby Soho should have probably won this match just because, right. They haven't gotten their revenge yet on the Jericho Appreciation Society. You could say, I guess, Ortiz did because he won Blood and Guts, but I feel like he hasn't really gotten his revenge on, the Jericho Appreciation Society. Especially, too, because it's not like the mixed tag titles on the line, so you could have had them win and then, do this match again and make it like an eliminator match, but but that's just what I would have done. I would throw in Dante Martin and Sky Blue in there as to do a triple threat mixed tag match. So that would have been cool.
Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is.
But yeah, this match was still really good. Then it showed exclusive footage of what happened after CM Punk lost that quickly, and it was really nothing. It was really disappointing, actually. He just goes backstage and just says, "My leg popped. I actually felt it this time," and then that was it. Like, there was nothing else. Like, I don't understand why they hyped this up like this was going to be like something big, like something we were going to see.
Further a little bit of the story they're trying to tell, I guess.
Yeah, I just thought something big would have happened with it. Like, I thought it would have been like a bigger thing, but I guess what they still showed was good. And then we had the main event. It was Claudio Castagnoli defending the ROH World Championship against Dustin Rhodes. Before this, they did the interview with Mark Henry, and that was really good stuff. They both talked about how they wanted to win the World Championships and stuff like that, so it was awesome. Dustin Rhodes was accompanied by Brock Anderson and Arn Anderson, and Claudio was accompanied by Willa Yuta. And William Regal came out, and you know how you say get Jericho off commentary? I guess all you have to do is have Regal go out there, because he left commentary after this. I think Regal became like the biggest baby face of the whole show when that happened.
Yeah, when he left.
I think when
Regal replaced him, I was jumping for fucking joy seeing this.
I could just picture you like sitting up in your laptop. You like all of a sudden like you just jump out of your chair like, yeah, get the fuck off commentary, buddy. Like,
yeah, I'm over it, man. I'm over him on the fucking behind the booth. He doesn't do a good job.
Really good match here for the ROH World Championship.
This is so good.
Yeah, really good. Claudio, was kind of out wrestling Dustin, not because of experience, but just because, he's been in the ring more lately than Regal, and he just has an act
mean
for
Dustin?
wrestling.
You mean Dustin?
Yeah, I said Regal. I don't know why I said Regal. And then Dustin Rhodes starts to mount a little bit of a comeback. He gets the heat for a little bit. I say heat, but he wasn't a heel, but
Yeah.
he just takes control of the match. And Dustin Claudio Castagnoli mounts a little bit of a comeback. They both just start really going to town on each other. Dustin Rhodes hits a code red, nearly gets the win. He rolls him up, and Claudio Castagnoli kicks out. Claudio does the big swing into the sharpshooter, but Dustin gets the ropes. Eventually, Dustin inadvertently headbutts Claudio in the groin, and he kind of hesitates a little bit because he doesn't want to win the world championship that way. And Arn Anderson's telling him to take advantage of it, and he doesn't capitalize quick enough, so it allows Claudio to hit the pop-up uppercut onto Dustin.
This was, yeah.
And it allows Claudio to retain the championship. And afterwards, Arn Anderson is pissed at Dustin for not taking advantage of it. I don't think anything's going to come of that. I think it's just going to be a thing that happened, and we won't hear mention of it.
Well, you know what? It depends, because if they split Brian Pillman Jr. away from him, I could see them doing a modern day Horseman like they did at Ric Flair's last match.
Yeah,
they might
that could be cool.
They actually might be building to that, to be fair.
And then, I like obviously the right person went over. This was a good second defense for Claudio Castagnoli of the title. Just get some defenses under his belt, and it was really good stuff.
Now let's get some other Ring of Honor World titles, please. Women's title next, because that's been way too long since we've seen that defended.
Yeah, we haven't seen that defended in a while. I think the last time it was defended on an AEW program and was when they unified them on Dynamite in that kind of underwhelming match.
It seemed like they give that no fucking time, really. That's why.
But anyhow, that was Rampage. I thought this was a really good episode of Rampage. I think the only thing I really have a problem with is just the Ty Mello Ruby Soho mixed tag. Just the fact that it happened at all in the show. Not that I never wanted it to happen. I just wanted it to be at a later time. So
yeah, I agree.
Because I felt like that match. I really didn't talk. I feel like that match kind of got no time either.
No, not at all. They loaded the show way too much. It's a typical AEW trip, really.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. I thought it was a really good show. Really good stuff on it. And what would you give AEW Rampage? I don't even know if you had to give a grade.
Okay. I mean, if I had to really think about it, Rampage was it was a B show. I mean, it wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Good. It's definitely the B show. It didn't drop any lower than that, so that's good.
And if we had to grade AEW overall in the week, I'm going to probably give AEW a B+. I agree. Just because I thought the dark shows were weak this week.
They keep freaking. It's the same thing for the last few weeks. The dark shows are the sole reason why the week is just at the way it is, and I'm not for it.
Let's usually we do this at the end, but because the news stuff is very loaded this week, we're gonna do our predictions for next week's stuff right now. Yes. We're gonna have this is the go home week of AEW Dynamite, which is not AEW Dynamite, AEW All Out.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think about because it was a year ago, literally, that I was watching All Out 2021, and I was watching Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debut in AEW, and it's crazy that it's almost been a year since that's happened. So,
right.
But yeah, we have 4 fans announced for Dynamite. We have John Moxley's going to come out to cut a promo. What do you think's going to happen with that? Do you think this is going to be the weekend?
I think Punk will come back. If again, there's a couple things they could do, but I'm just gonna go with the safe option and say Punk's coming back, and they're gonna fucking they're gonna redo this at All Out, and Punk's gonna retain or regain the title.
Yeah, I agree. I think you could bring back MJF, but I feel like if they're gonna
at this point, you could do it there. Probably would be the safest bet, but they're not going to do that. I mean, if MJF, so long as this is still a fucking work, I'll explain why I don't even know if it is in a minute. If it is still a work, you got to do it at All Out.
Yeah.
Personally, like that's the only place. You have him as the Joker in the ladder match, or you have him show up at the end of the pay-per-view unannounced.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're gonna do that, by the way, you gotta have Paige win the casino battle royal or a ladder match or whatever.
Yeah.
Main reason I say that is, Hangman could then challenge Punk, while Max goes and challenges Punk, and finds a way into the match by beating Hangman somehow. So that way you can have the triple threat match at AEW All Out, where MJF wins the belt. You could have the rematch between Punk and MJF on a later television show. Have MJF beat him, and then move on to a feud between MJF and Hangman Page.
You could also throw Moxley in there and have a 4-way match, since he would want his.
I guess you could, but I'll be honest with you, man. I'm worried about 4-ways ever since that fucking 4-way at a Forbidden Door. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
And we just have one guy coming back from injury. We don't need any disaster happening. You know what I mean?
One of the matches on the show, we have 3 matches announced so far. We have Bryan Danielson versus Jake Hager. I think this is going to be a hell of a match. This is probably going to be the best match that they've ever had together, just because Jake Hager's a much better wrestler now, and Bryan Danielson's just on a run right now.
It's crazy nobody gives this dude a fair shake of how good Hager has become as a wrestler. Like, ever since he's just gotten better and better. I think we've mentioned it on other shows, but he's gotten better and better every time we've seen him, and I swear nobody gives him enough credit for that. Like, props to Jake Hager. I can't wait to see this match.
I think this is going to be an obvious win for Bryan Danielson, just because he's going into that match with Chris Jericho. He's got to get some momentum behind him. So,
yeah, for sure.
And then we have Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter. This should probably be a victory for Storm and Shida, with Shida getting the win on Jamie Hayter, because Shida needs to get some momentum going into the the interim AEW Women's World Championship match, because a lot of people are crapping on the fact that she's even in the match. So I feel like if she at least gets this win, I don't think it's going to quiet the complaints, but I feel like some people will be like, okay, she got a win on Dynamite. Maybe that's the thing too. Maybe Shida should have had a match on Dynamite and gotten a win, so that way people would shut up about it.
Whatever.
So.
Fuck them.
Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you think they're gonna have the faces win, or do you think the heels are gonna go over?
I genuinely, I think they're gonna have the. There's 2 ways I could go with it. I would stick with just your original plan of having Toni Storm win, but I could see Jamie Hayter winning, but it can't be. I'm gonna tell you right now, can't be Britt Baker. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm talking about the tag match, not the 4-way match. Just the tag
match. I don't know. Fuck. Heels. I don't know. Yeah. If the heels win, then that means the baby faces won't. All right, hold on. I gotta.
Not necessarily. So.
Yeah. Well, just don't give it to Britt, and she deserves to get shit on for a while. To be fair.
Well, we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. Then we have what I think will be the main event of the show. That's fine. Then we have what I think would be the main event of the show. It should be the main event of the show. It's the Elite versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open and the AEW World Tag Team.
There's no other main event you can do.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a hell of a match, but I think the Elite are going to end up winning overall.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. If you're not going to put this on, the main event, you got to find a way where you put this on the 9 o'clock hour to get people that are switching channels to tune in.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I would like to see that one day.
And then as for Rampage, there's only one match announced for Rampage right now, and that's Best Friends and Orange Cassidy versus the Dark Order in the semifinals match. I think that's probably
that one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Dark Order. They could give it to Best Friends
Yeah,
because they do have it.
it's
Like,
gonna be Dark Order. The finals
yeah,
are the Elite versus the Dark Order. And you know what? I can't think of a better trios
yeah.
end here. Honestly, like
Especially
this would be
considering,
perfect.
especially considering the fact that they were like the first two factions, other than the Best Friends, that were like that started this trios division. So
Yeah.
I think it works. Um, and I feel like my bracket's looking pretty good. The only thing I got wrong was Death Triangle losing to Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. So
Yeah, we really should have considered that freaking Kip Sabian was going to interfere in that regard.
yeah,
It is.
but yeah, I think we have a hell of a show to look forward to when it comes to AEW this week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We have the countdown show, which is always fun to watch because
really good. They're always
I don't
really
know.
good, yeah.
I don't know how good this countdown show will be. If I had to make a guess of what I think will be on the countdown show, I think they should show Hobbs versus Ricky Starks because that has a lot of history there. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy.
Definitely the Punk stuff, a little bit more in-depth stuff with whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah. Do you think they should do something with like the trios match, not the non-title trios match?
I absolutely would, yeah.
Because believe it or not a lot of people might not know who Machine Guns are, who are going to be watching the show.
Yeah.
So,
Do a little documentary piece on Motor City, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then obviously the championship one you should show. That's going to be tough to edit in because the freaking finals.
Just make it an hour on TV. Just
yeah.
Go crazy.
I mean, they've been doing this thing lately where they show like an hour of it on TV, and then they'll release like an uncut version on YouTube, and they show like everything.
They might as well just make this an hour version, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for sure.
But yeah, that's everything. We think that's everything AEW that's happened on screen and could happen on screen that we're predicting. I did check. There's nothing announced for Elevation right now, so we can't really do prediction for that right now.
Yeah, cool. Whatever.
So yeah,
we don't care.
Let's.
So why should we?
I'll make a prediction. There'll be a squash match on there.
Oh yeah, what a great prediction! There will be many squash matches on there. That's my prediction. There will be a total of 5.
Okay.
There you go. If I'm past that, I still win.
Yeah, so I think we're trying to kid around right now because we're about to get like really pissed off. So let's stop. We have some backstage stuff to talk about with AEW.
Yep.
It's not really.
So let's get this bullshit over with. So basically,
By the way, I'm gonna hand this off to James to talk about because he's been doing extensive research on this backstage.
Yes, and I do appreciate that, good sire. Okay, so
that's why James is here, by the way, so he can cover this.
I just gotta make sure that. Okay, yeah, I'm moving. Cool. I gotta make sure my head's moving. Okay. Now, you're not going to be able to see this until after, just because I don't want to fuck with the camera thing that I have laid out, but you'll be able to see this on after. I'm just going to read off the graphic, but the graphic is on AEW Spark. So I read this on the Jeff Meacham Network. I'm going to read this off here because I think it's important to get it out to as many outlets as possible, especially when it comes to the last fucking drama piece on here. So, Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk drama. Last night, CM Punk cut his first promo on AEW Dynamite since suffering a broken foot over 2 months ago, and he's already made headlines. Before Punk turned his attention to Jon Moxley in their upcoming match, Punk called out Hangman Page for a rematch for their title match at Double or Nothing, and said it was coward shit, a spin on Page's catchphrase, cowboy shit. When he didn't come out, basically. So when Adam Page didn't come out, he called him a coward. When there is there's a good reason for that. He didn't come out, and that's because Punk went into business for himself, and nobody knew he was going to say that. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Uncle Dave said, "If you're wondering about the CM Punk thing that started off the show with Adam Page, that was weird for everyone, as in nobody knew he was going to say that. If you remember, months ago, they were feuding, and I said there was a lot of reality to it. Well, there's a lot of reality to it. So I don't know what the deal was, and nobody else does either, but Punk was supposed to go out there and talk about Moxley and build to the match, and he did after he talked about Hangman Page. They may build to something from it down the line, but it was not scheduled for this pay-per-view, and nobody knew he was going to do it. There was one particular incident during the Punk-Page feud a few months ago where Page pretty much said he was fighting on behalf of AEW to defend it against Punk, and it all seemed a little bit out of place, and it seemed to be the continuing fallout from that. Either way, it was spicy, and by all accounts, it was real. Huh? Cool.
I think I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, that was my dad. He was just telling me he couldn't finish food. Okay. Now, this part completely nips that in the bud. This is totally a work, and this is why. Evil Uno's thoughts on it via Headlock Podcast. This is transcribed by Wrestling Inc. by Eric Murder. In an interview with the Headlock Podcast, Uno revealed that his fellow Dark Order members and Hangman were up to when Punk cut his promo, and Uno gave his perspective on the whole situation. Truthfully, we were in the middle of training when this happened, Uno said, so I would say everything you hear is probably hearsay, to be honest. I think who knows. From my side, I think there's nothing, but who knows. That's the beauty of wrestling. You never really know. Regular viewers of the YouTube series Being the Elite will note that this past Monday's episode where Hangman was seen helping Uno and fellow Dark Order members Ten, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver prepare for their upcoming AEW World Trios Championship Tournament match, Page scolded away a person who burst into the room to inform him of Punk's promo happening in the ring. That happened on BTE, so they put this on BTE and they released this on BTE. That makes me believe that this is a work-shoot program they're trying to do. So I'm going to stick with that until proven otherwise. Lord knows I've been wrong before, and I'll get to that in a minute. But from all accounts, it looks like they're trying to do a work-shoot angle out of this. So that's what.
So yeah, I'll just as you finish each story, should I just give my thoughts on what I think is happening?
Go ahead and give your thoughts on it. Yeah.
If I had to say, like, I personally think this is a work. I don't know when they're going to do this down the line, but what I think is happening here is it is a work, especially since they showed it on BTE. If it wasn't a work, I feel like they don't show like that type of stuff on BTE.
Not at all.
The only thing I could say is that if it was a shoot, maybe they decided to show it on BTE to see the reaction, but. Usually, if it's on PTE, that usually means it's a work. I'm pretty sure they showed a reaction on Adam Cole's side when the Elite, the Young Bucks asked Adam Page to be their tag team partner for the Trios tournament. Not his partner. I remember there was a week where Adam Page and the Young Bucks were on screen together, and they were talking about the tournament. And Adam Cole watched that segment. It was the episode I was at live. So I think this is a work. Maybe there is beef between Punk and Adam Page. I could kind of see there being a bit of beef, but I don't think it's as bad of a beef. I think they've
long since worked out their situation. By the way, a source that I listened to later on, keeping it 100, there's a source on there named Bill Batty, and regardless of how you feel about the guy, which he's kind of a prick sometimes, but. He did say months ago that they resolved their situation supposedly. So I don't think that's a. And usually Bill Batty's actually pretty on point with his sources. So it does line up with what's kind of going on here. I think they're just doing this to further an angle here. So there's that. Cool. So we move on to the next freaking drama piece. This was pretty much nipped in the bud by the two people involved, so this is an isolated incident. By the way, all of these are, for the most part. So let's relax, people. It's not the fucking end of the locker room. It's not the end of AEW as we know it yet. There's a certain thing that makes me worried about the future, but we'll get to that. So Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston, the drama written by Ethan Renner from Wrestling Observer, transcribed from the Fightful article posted by Sean Ross Sapp. AEW Sammy Guevara has issued a statement detailing his side of the story following a backstage incident with Eddie Kingston that led to Kingston's suspension. In a statement issued to Fightful, Guevara said that the incident with Kingston stemmed from verbiage that Guevara used in a promo to set up a match with Kingston at All Out. Sammy Guevara said that when involved in storylines, AEW talent communicates certain subjects that they do not want to be used for promo material in building to a match. We'll get to that later. Guevara says that he communicated things and he did not want Kingston to say about him, but that Kingston did not communicate effectively what should be off limits. Quoted from Sammy Guevara, he says, "As a professional, you communicate things that you don't want to be said, like other people I have been in programs with and have worked with, like Matt Hardy, Chris Jericho, and others. And I did communicate of what I didn't want to be said in the angle, and Eddie didn't. But Eddie did not do, when Eddie did not do the same thing, and he did not mention to me, or the coaches, or to TK, Tony Khan, or anyone in AEW that he didn't want said, basically. He didn't want the fat line said," Guevara's statement reads. So after Tay Mello and my match with Sky Blue and Dante Martin, I cut a promo on Eddie insulting Eddie and the fans as a heel. Which I know the thing everyone loves to do is hate me and Tay, so I'm the perfect person to play as the asshole character for Eddie to ultimately beat it all out. I see what people say online about Eddie and his appearance. He puts in parentheses, which anybody who legitimately shames Eddie for how he looks can go to hell. It's the same people who shame me for being too small. So Sammy Guevara, the character, I could be the physical person playing with that person that Eddie can shut up at All Out. So the idea was, he called him in the promo a fat piece of shit. And the idea was that the fat piece of shit was going to ultimately end up being beating the cocky supermodel looking heel. Essentially, was the story that they were going to tell ultimately by the end. But Eddie did not do the professional thing, says Guevara, and communicate that to me. Which if he did, I never would have said it, because the last thing I want to do is to hurt someone for real, Guevara's statement reads. Guevara says that Kingston's attempted to pie face him, and he actually did, by the way, but the two were backed up and kept apart. So after the promo, says Guevara, I get to the back and Eddie is flipping out, yelling, "You can't call me fat," over and over as I'm trying to walk down the stairs, a gorilla making a big scene. People get in between us. Eddie tries to pie face me, and he more like touches my face. It was weird, and everyone backs everyone up, the statement reads. Guevara says that his promo calling Kingston fat ended up being edited off the AEW programming. It was unfortunate because this promo was on a tape show and easily could have been edited, which they ended up doing anyways, he says. Guevara says that Kingston had been aggressive and getting out of control backstage in AEW before. Now, this is a little bit weird of a transcription here, because they're saying that he got aggressive in AEW before. It could be true. However, there has not been any report other than this incident that confirms that that's even the case. So, I will say that I think this is the first incident, at least that we publicly know of, where he let his anger get the better of him. However, what I will say is, Eddie Kingston, and I'm going to recorrect the statement here just for my own posterity's sake. Guevara said that Kingston has been aggressive and getting out of control backstage in wrestling before. Because that part is absolutely 100% factual. It's been well documented. Guevara continues to say, I know this isn't Eddie's first time being aggressive and getting out of control backstage. I know he's had to do some kind of anger management after this whole thing, the statement reads. Guevara said that the situation with Kingston was unnecessary. He says, the whole thing was very unnecessary, but it is what it is. Live and learn, I guess. On to the next we go. Guevara's statement reads. Kingston's suspension following this incident with Guevara has since ended. So I guess they did get into a beef, but maybe they worked their stuff out or whatever. But in a statement to PW Insider, Kingston did say, I was wrong for being unprofessional. That was the blind fact. He did what he did, and the public can judge that, but I know for a fact that I was wrong, as far as we know. So, It is what it is. I'm not. The point is, they calm down the situation. Hopefully, that's one less headache for the freaking locker room, basically. So, your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So when once I heard about this happening, I kind of thought it made sense because it was really weird that AEW dropped the storyline all of a sudden, and I was wondering. I was gonna say something this week, like what happened with the storyline with Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston, but then obviously the storyline. Now we know why. I can kind of understand like why Eddie Kingston, I guess, would be upset about it because now Sammy Guevara,
his argument's bullshit because he says that he wanted to do it because it would make the feud look bad if a fat piece of shit beat the athletic guy, when in reality that's not what Sammy was thinking. He was thinking, hey, the athletic guy can get shut up by this brawler, essentially.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shaming. Yes, the character was shaming him, but he was eventually going to get his mouth shut by having the guy beat him. Kingston was supposed to go over in this feud, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he desperately fucking needed. So he just cost himself a feud for no reason here.
Not just a feud, but now when he comes back, he's gonna be like struggling to find a spot on the card because you know, so that's gonna be bad. And
he killed his own momentum, and that sucks because he was like one of the biggest baby faces on this entire program. And now I know when it comes to Sammy Guevara, like a lot of people are, I feel like I'm taking Eddie's side now because everyone's hated on Sammy Guevara because of all the time melodrama. He is 100% in the wrong here. And he even admitted that he was 100% in the wrong. And by the way, you didn't communicate, buddy. You didn't want that said.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying,
I don't know.
I'm just telling you, I think it's also unfair that Sammy Guevara is getting hated on because I feel like it's just because of his past history that he is, not because of the situation. It's because of how everyone feels about him right now. No one's gonna take his side when
that's bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. I mean, maybe Kingston's trying to remain some part of kayfabe. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say,
I really hope he doesn't mean the whole idea. A blind fact, he did what he did, and the public can judge that. What the fuck is that type of apology, dude?
Yeah,
that's some shit that some people at our fucking roster would have said, which is why they're gone. By the way, we won't mention those names. But that's really what this felt like to me when reading that statement, dude. It felt like a half-assed apology.
I am gonna say, I hope these anger management classes do justice to Eddie Kingston because, I don't think Tony Khan, well, I hope not anyways, is going to put up with this much longer because he could cost himself not only a spot in the main event, he could cost himself a job.
Well, hold that thought because you would think that'd be the case, but let's get on to the final drama piece here.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. All right, so here it is. The Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa fucking bullshit. All right, here we go.
I know.
So this is the beginning portion of this. This is how this all happened. This is written by SP3 of Wrestle Talk News in conjunction with the Fightful article by Sean Ross Sapp covering this whole thing. From Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, this is separate from the article. We've had talent contact us from both sides regarding Rosa, with many saying she worked hard to get other young women and talent booked, while with others that perceive her as developing an ego and being difficult to work with. Those that we have talked to who've worked with her at Mission Pro Wrestling have said positive things about her leadership when she's around. Following the announcement where she announced that she had to be out for injury and they're crowning a women's champion, Voices of Wrestling reported that Rosa and or Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, can't stand each other. Fightful Select has confirmed this report, indicating that Rosa and Baker have had heat for well over a year now. However, the two have attempted to remain professional and work with each other. The report also notes that Jamie Hayter has also developed heat with Thunder Rosa following suffering a broken nose in their AEW Battle of the Belts 3 match earlier this month. Much of the heat between the two women emerged from Rosa working too stiff in the ring. Well, first off, the fact that they're trying to work past their personal things is bullshit. And the fact that Thunder Rosa works way too stiff is bullshit because Jamie Hayter works even stiffer. And that's because she comes from fucking Japan. So that's all bullshit. All of that whole thing is bullshit, and here's why. We get to the biggest source probably of this whole video. First off, so there's PW Insider. The next source from this is Off the Script. JD from New York and Jesse, his co-host, never say they have a source, and when they do, they let it be known that this is a source. Quoted, when we tell you that this is legit from AEW and from a source in AEW, we are not bullshitting you. So I think this was crucial to have all this in here. Just wanted to put that in perspective here, so that way you know why this is included here. Because this is a new thing, I'm sure. This is a new type of source, I'm sure, for a lot of people. So, first is the well-known source, Mike Johnson of PW Insider. PW Insider has confirmed that the nature of Thunder Rosa's injury is a disc issue in her back. By the way, it's bulging disc issues in her back, which is why she has to step down, because otherwise it was going to get worse and she would have needed surgery by the time all that was done. We're told that something has been, it was something she has tried to work through as of late. There is no word or timetable for her return. It was later confirmed by JD and Jesse of Off the Script that the injury occurred after the stairs spot that Thunder Rosa took in a tag match on AEW Dynamite. After a match on Dark, she was in a tag match and never once got tagged in. So there you go.
I remember I talked about that too.
It is a legit injury. It wasn't bullshit. It wasn't a work. This was legitimately an injury. Now,
yeah, everyone was saying that it was an injury, and she had to come out herself and say that this is like a legit.
Yeah, I got that. Don't worry, I got that in the last bit. I'll read that off anyway. Okay, so now all the rest of these notes are from Jesse of Off the Script, reading off from their source. They compared the notes from the original Voices of Wrestling original article on Baker and Rosa. They reveal they have a source in AEW that will remain anonymous. Jesse. So of this report, Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa can't stand each other, described as mortal enemies. Very, very true. They have what is described as nuclear heat with each other, and it is based on Britt Baker and the way she conducts herself backstage. It comes across and comes off like she has to put herself in a position to be completely entitled and spoiled. ... Jess has to get her way with things. Jesse goes on a little later to bring up the sandbagging story. So we talked about how Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston every wrestler is supposed to have a meaning about what they can say in the promo and what they can't say in the promo, correct?
Yeah.
That is now known. That's how they conduct their business as far as cutting promos go. Well, here we go. Jesse says, the whole sandbagging thing stems from the match that Thunder Rosa had with Marina Shafir. He says that the sandbagging rumors were started by Britt Baker. She is also in the ear of Marina Shafir along with Jamie Hayter when it comes to Rosa's sandbagging. That rumor was leaked by Dr. Britt Baker. Now, the promo itself, where they came out and used the word sandbag in a promo, that line, and hear me out when I say this, was fought by Thunder Rosa to be removed. She did not, I repeat, did not want that line in the promo. They went to TK, Tony Khan. TK overruled the request by Rosa and let it go. They discussed it, went back and forth a little bit, and she was overruled and it had to go in because Britt Baker lobbied for it, so it went in. Now, if you also remember, Thunder Rosa came out with a t-shirt that said sandbagging on it. That was Thunder Rosa's idea in an attempt to take the power away from Britt Baker from using that term on her like that. JD would also conversate with Jesse on the podcast as they heard from their source that Britt Baker shot on Thunder Rosa about her injury. JD thought it was real, and Jesse confirmed with the source with the source notes that promo this week on Dynamite, in fact, was a shoot promo and did not get cleared ahead of time. Jesse says, turns out you were right. That is a shoot. It appears that Britt Baker has been taking liberties on the live microphone as it pertains to her shots that she's fired at Thunder Rosa. Meaning these things were not cleared ahead of time, not put there strategically to, further a feud or a match. They were just done because Britt Baker can apparently do what she wants. Talk about favoritism, TK. What the fuck, dude? That's what I wrote after that. They then compared their source notes to the situation with the notes of Voices of Wrestling's piece. In that Voices of Wrestling article, they're quoted saying that someone said after she broke Jamie Hayter's nose on Dynamite. This is quoted from Jesse, but it was actually Battle of the Belt Street. Rosa hid and cried, quote unquote, in the bathroom in fear of getting her ass kicked. Jesse said, after Rosa broke Hayter's nose, did she go to the bathroom? Yes. But she did not go to the bathroom to hide from anyone, and Thunder Rosa was not in the bathroom in fear of getting her ass kicked from anyone. She, Rosa, went to the bathroom to remove herself from a situation that she felt was going to get volatile, so she went to the bathroom. Jesse also goes on to the notes that a lot of stories have come out about Rosa have been apparently leaked from Britt Baker herself. What is now coming out also from this source is that Britt Baker also heavily rehearses her matches Macho Man style because, quote from Jesse, she doesn't have the ability to go out there and call it in the ring like the other women do, and when she tries that, it comes across very sloppy and terrible. This was in defense of Thunder Rosa and her working stiff, as we found out that she still isn't capable of calling a match in the ring yet. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with rehearsing your matches over and over again. That has been done ad nauseum in wrestling. That's not an issue. But if you are a world champion and you can't call a match on the fly, and by the way, Britt, honey, you aren't that much of a fucking rookie. You're 7 years into the fucking business and you can't call a match on the fly, dude? Are you serious? You shouldn't even be in the company then. This is all elite wrestling. What's all elite about that? You can't even fucking call it in the ring?
I mean, yeah, like...
And by the way, here's a great example of this, and this is where I think the heat really stems from. It had nothing to do with her working stiff. Do you recall in the build-up to the cage match at St. Patrick's Day Slam between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa? And Thunder Rosa looked a bit injured going into the match because she looked injured when fighting Layla Hirsch, and also in the tag match on the go-home show for Revolution, and also on Revolution itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we knew she had a leg injury, whether it was minor or not. She had a leg injury. So now that we know what we know, clearly Thunder Rosa can't rehearse her matches over and over again, because if she does, she's going to hurt herself and aggravate the injury even more. And it was already risky as is.
Yeah.
So, where does the sandbagging comment really come from? I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from Britt Baker's bullshit fucking narrative that she was sandbagging her, when in reality is she was fucking injured and couldn't do what she wanted to do, which was rehearse the match over and over again. That's on you, honey. That's not on frickin' Thunder Rosa.
I mean, I've been giving Dr. Britt Baker DMD a break because, she's a dentist and it's tough to tackle both being a dentist and being,
Well, you know what?
You
know what? If that's the problem, something's got to give, and if that's got to be wrestling, leave wrestling and do dentistry. If it's dentistry, leave dentistry and do wrestling.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes in life you cannot have your fucking cake and eat it too.
Well, I was even gonna say too. You've been doing the dentist and I understand. I've never been a dentist or a wrestler, but you've been doing both for years. You should find a way to be able to balance both of them out, so that way you can at least get to a point where you can call a match in the ring too.
Yeah. So this is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Cole can try to defend her all she wants. Marina Shafir can try to defend her all she wants. That's not it. This isn't even a discussion point.
She's also dating Adam Cole, too, like one of the best wrestlers in the world. How can you not call a match in the ring? You should at least be at that point.
Yeah, exactly. This is bullshit. Period. End of story. Like, you aren't doing good if you cannot call a match in the ring by this fucking point.
Especially since she was, like, the champ for, like, months. Like, over half a year.
That is the issue, and then you want to go and blame Thunder Rosa for supposedly fucking sandbagging you? Let me tell you what fucking sandbagging is. Watch Hardcore Holly and fucking Brock Lesnar. I don't give a fuck what Bob Holly said. He fucking sandbagged Brock there. But you know why? Because he's been known to do that before. Now they're trying to give the PR fucking stunt speak. No, he fucking sandbagged him. That's what actually happened. That's what sandbagging is. Thunder Rosa didn't sandbag you. She could barely stand on her own 2 fucking feet.
Yeah.
That's what happened in that cage match. That's on you at that point for not being able to fucking work around that and call it on the fly. That's on you, honey. Sorry.
I mean, Kurt Angle was, we just talked about it today, Kurt Angle was concussed, and Stephanie McMahon, who had limited wrestling experience, was able to call a match on the fly. She wasn't even in the match.
She wasn't even in the match. Wasn't even in the fucking match. You have no excuse, honey. 0. This is a bad fucking take. And the fact that you've gone through this take for this long and have convinced so many people, including but not limited to Tony Khan, that this shit was the fact of the matter. Bullshit. And Tony Khan, shame on you. Shame on you, dude.
Not a good look for AEW, because that was the first signing in general. That was like a talent.
And you know what this fucking tells me as well? Here's what this tells me. If he's willing to let Britt Baker do whatever the hell she wants, and Britt Baker is just walking all over Tony and just getting away with whatever the hell she wants to get away with, bro, who's to say that this MJF and Tony Khan thing isn't full on shoot now?
I know.
This is the first time now where I've questioned that might be a possibility now. You single-handedly ended the narrative that this could be a fucking work. If it is, MJF has to show up at All Out. Nothing else will suffice. Nothing else will suffice now. If he don't show up, then all of these backstage turmoil stories, there actually might be an element of truth to them. And if that's the case, and I've already said this on Jeff Meacham's show, I'm done covering fucking wrestling. I'm done with it at that point. Wrestling Rundown will be my last fucking show ever. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to bandwagon to the WWE because WWE is doing better than AEW. I'm not ever been about that. I want the industry to fucking thrive. I didn't watch the WWE because I didn't like the fucking people there. Contrary to what a lot of fucking people think. I hated the backstage environment that Vince portrayed. I hated the backstage environment that Vince did. I hated the politics that got in the way of proper fucking business. And that's why I stopped watching the WWE. If this is going to happen in AEW too, then it's going to happen again in Triple H's WWE. And it will happen any fucking damn where. I mean, God's sake, we've already seen that happen with Billy Corgan. We've seen that happen with fucking New Japan for the longest time until they finally changed management. And who knows how long that's going to fucking last.
I know, especially with the
fucking deal with Impact and AEW fell through. Up until recently. It's 2020 fucking 2. Put the egos aside and fucking work together. God damn it. It's not hard. It's not a hard concept. Work together to build the fucking industry. Worry about your own product and worry about your own merit and stop worrying about what everybody fucking else is doing. That's the first mistake you make when you start doing shit like that. The second mistake that Tony Khan made The fact you're picking favorites in the locker room,
Yeah.
unacceptable. You are a boss first and a friend second. You act like it. And for those who are going to tell me, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bitch, I ran my own CAW league and no one can fucking confirm this. I fucking put my foot down when shit went in fucking haywire with people. And he's known this, personally. Sometimes you gotta put your fucking foot down, dude. You gotta put your foot down when it comes to shit like this. You can't just let it slide just because, oh, you're friends with Britt Baker outside of the fucking work. That's not a sign of a good boss, dude. That's a sign of what people have been calling you online. And that's a fucking mark. That's exactly what that screams.
Yeah, especially
Prove them
too,
wrong
like,
and frickin' suspend her. Find a fucking replacement for Britt Baker. We know you won't, but that's really what should happen. I don't give a fuck if it's an interim title or not, and Thunder Rosa was supposed to drop the fucking belt. I don't give a damn if there's better story now because of all this shoot that happened between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. I really don't give a damn. Actions have consequences. That's what AEW's fucking said from the off. Now we're challenged for that, and there has been no consequences for Britt Baker. It's about time some are dished out.
Yeah, especially too because I'm trying to think. There was an incident. There's been incidents before where he's punished people. Like he just punished Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
You know, suspended him for 2 weeks.
Why can't you do the same with Britt? She went off script. The fact that you even took Britt Baker's side in wanting the line of sandbagging to be removed, and then you took her fucking side, that's a double standard.
Yeah.
You got rid of it in one program between Sammy and Kingston, but you didn't have the same freaking principle for Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker when Thunder Rosa, who, by the way, wasn't a nobody, was your world champion, requesting you remove this. That should have been the end of it. That should have been the end of it. So, fucking ridiculous. Yeah. All of this Thunder Rosa Britt Baker thing never needed to happen. Absolutely atrocious.
Hearing all this stuff too, I think we talked about it. We talked about it privately. Then if the MJF thing is a shoot, then why did he let MJF go on Dynamite and cut that big promo?
And just fucking walk all over him and until they cut his microphone off.
Yeah.
You literally just made your company look worse.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. There's no other way to go about this now. This better be a fucking work, or else you're fucked. You are Fucked. All capitalized.
Especially too,
like, you never should have let him even go out that long and cut it.
And then especially too, if this MJF thing isn't working stuff, and we're hearing all this stuff, like maybe what was going on right before Cody and Brandy left AEW.
Exactly.
Like,
this is bad. This don't look good for your company, Tony.
Especially considering the fact that you have another company out there, WWE, that just changed management and is like bringing back all these people. You do not want to have like your company start sinking now that WWE's
and even then, like, I'm not saying you worry about what the hell WWE is doing. Let WWE do them and you do you.
Yeah.
Like, the ratings aren't going to make a difference anyway. Like, people are going to stick with AEW. People are going to stick with WWE. We've seen that. That's been a fucking proven fact.
But I'm just saying, locker room wise though, if one locker room is better than yours, then that's
definitely going to get people to tune the fuck out, and they might not even tune into wrestling again.
Well, not even just tuning out. They're like when people's contracts are up, they're going to want to go to the better locker room.
Yeah, wrestling wise, yeah, for sure. And it really shouldn't be that way, man.
Yeah.
You're costing yourself money here if you don't have MJF show up. And with this story coming out with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, this has me concerned that it's even a freaking work now. I'm not even convinced it is. Now I have to see it with my own eyes, and then I'll be relieved if he comes out. But it really shouldn't have gotten to this point to begin with. And that's the moral of the fucking story here. So, last thing on these notes. Thunder Rosa's quote from Busted Open Radio. This is transcribed by Wrestling Hub. I'm not the best physically right now. I was in a lot of pain yesterday. A lot has been happening in the past couple weeks. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of commission. I don't know for how long. For a couple months, probably. I have a problem with my back, and yesterday I was trying to be strong. Back problems are not easy. Some days are good, some days are not. Yesterday was not a good day. I was in a lot of pain. That's one of the reasons I'm taking time off. I want to clear the air. This is not fake. This is not a work. I'm not comparing injuries to injuries. That was straight a shot at Baker if I've ever heard one, and she deserved it, by the way. If I could walk, I could work. Dr. Sampson said he couldn't clear me to wrestle. I'm not cleared to wrestle. It's not that I don't want to do the match on Sunday at AEW All Out. I can't walk. Whew. Man, there's a lot of talking. It's a shame that this is being put on social media, not only to discredit me as an athlete, but also discredit me as a wrestler. I want to walk when I'm 40. I have the right to say, no, I can't walk. I can't do it. I don't want to have surgery. If we keep doing this and going through the pain, then I'm going to be out for longer, and I don't want to do that. And that ends all of that. That is every freaking piece of notes here. So there you go.
I mean, we talked about that. You're going to see it on the retro. We need to get this mentality out of there that just because you don't go out and work, you lose your spot. And I'm glad that, Thunder Rosa had the authority to say no.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I mean, there's one person I didn't even mention when it came to this, but if Adam Cole put that thought in her head, shame on Adam Cole, because guess what? This ain't WWE.
Yeah.
You're going to have a spot, dude. You have a spot in the trios division, you're fine. Britt Baker has more than made her spot. She's fine with her promo ability alone. Sometimes it could be iffy sometimes, as we've seen, but...
Yeah. I mean, especially, too, like... So, I feel like a notable thing that shows that, Tony Khan kind of is picking favorites in the locker room is when Britt Baker got the AEW Women's World Championship, booked every week, always has some type of thing to go on.
Nothing for Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa had to claw and scratch to get shit going. And and then people are claiming she has a bad attitude backstage. No shit, her reign sucks.
Yeah.
No shit. It did suck until she started doing what she wanted to fucking do with the belt.
I mean, it's not even talking about...
It took, fucking how long? 2 months? Oh, shit.
It's not even just Thunder Rosa. Like, Hikaru Shida hold the belt for a year and barely got anything. Like, her match at Full Gear 2020 was legit thrown on the show. Her match at Full Gear 2020 had less of a storyline than the freaking NWA Women's World Championship match that was on the show.
Yep.
And that's not even their belts.
Yep. Absolutely. And ironically enough, Thunder Rosa was the freaking Women's World Champion, and then it went to Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
They had more of a story there than they did for fucking,
Yeah.
than they did for their own women's champion at that time, too. It's been a constant problem. People have called this out for months. It finally got better, and I thought that was going to be a sign of things to come, but in reality, Britt Baker seems to only give a shit about herself. This doesn't seem like the Britt Baker that was talking about trying to elevate the women's division after a Double or Nothing when she won the fucking belt.
Seems like she only elevated herself.
And therein lies the problem. She goes on the microphone, she buries Dark, and Dark has a lot of problems. She goes and buries the women's division has a lot of problems. She is putting herself over and only gives a rat's ass about herself.
Yo.
Come hell or high water, Britt Baker gets what she wants. And it's bullshit. So there you go. Fuck.
I mean, she's having a luxury life too because she's able to be a dentist and do wrestling at the same time.
Yeah, you have it made. It's time to fucking humble yourself, honey.
Why do you even feel like
this ain't great? This ain't a great look for you.
Why do you feel like they need to fight for this spot? It's not like you don't have a job. It's not like you don't have something going.
You're made. You made yourself. You're good. You have a spot in that company for life. You got your hands in so many hats. You're a dentist. You're part of the fucking video game development team for the AEW video game. You're a women's freaking character that's like the most prominently featured character. You freaking have a faction behind you. You help out with fucking production. You're made. You have a spot there for life. Don't fuck it up because you're trying to fucking play politics. Fuck off.
We're trying to get away from that.
The whole reason AEW was fucking created was to get away from the politics of wrestling, and here we are back to the same fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, fuck me, man. And by the way, if this again, we still have to. I'm still wondering if the thing with Colt and Punk is legit.
Yeah.
That has me concerned, because if that's the fucking cause, then I'm blaming Punk directly for it. Because Punk should have worked that fucking issue out months ago.
Yeah,
and now I'm not sure about that either, because of this shit.
And the shoot, I know it's a lesser thing, but the shoot promo that Ethan Page cut right before he joined up with Stokely Hathaway, because
right. Well, now they're trying to make everything look like it's a work shoot, and the problem is we tried that already. Do we need to remind ourselves of WCW 2000, where everything was a work shoot? Now, granted, a lot more people know about the ins and outs of wrestling now than they did back then. Doesn't mean that you're going to get fucking people to tune in. And by the way, yes, they did break 1 million. What's the rating going to be like next week? That's the real question. And this is their fucking go-home show.
And I don't think it's the shoot promos that even broke the rating. It's the fact that they had CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for the World Championship that, sold the show.
Yep. And they ultimately disappointed. To a lot of people, anyway. I mean, I know some people that liked it.
Yeah.
But I know they're probably in the minority. I'm indifferent on it now. I wasn't on Thursday, but I'm a bit more indifferent than I was now. But, dude, this shit's ridiculous.
Yeah,
like Mike and I were talking about it off the fucking air. We're probably going to do an Indie Force or at least a clip on this soon. But, like, we were just having a convo. Just a regular convo. And I brought this up to him, and I was like, dude, why are we not there at this point? Because we've dealt with this same shit, and we were able to fucking get over it. And fucking do it the right way. We fucking put people in their place when they needed to be.
Yeah, you have to tell me about that off the air.
Yeah. So I don't get why this shit's happening.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. This all could have been avoided. So, it is what it is. I got nothing left to say on it. We're going to talk about this, I'm sure, on ATW, on Noah's channel, but I'm going to send them a clip of this. I'm going to do like a little, clip from the Jeff Meacham Network version. I'm going to send it to them, and then we're all going to be at least caught up by the time ATW View airs. So, we'll discuss this as a group in detail. But,
yeah.
It's crazy, dude. Absolutely insane.
I know.
So yeah, there it is, man. So where do we go from here? I don't know. I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, maybe this is relevant, but you probably heard Discovery is asking for AEW to tone down the content.
That's bull. Yeah, okay. That was actually said by Tony Khan in the meeting, in the Raw speech. That was not said by Warner directly. That was a direct order from TK, just so that way they can tone that. That was basically not. It wasn't just the language that was the problem. That was misinterpreted. Warner didn't give a shit if they said shit 1,500 times. They didn't care. That was said because of the shoot promos that have been happening. I guess he finally laid down the law or whatever.
Yeah.
Took him fucking long enough, if that is the case. But that's the story going around. Here's what nobody else is trying to talk about, because AEW haters are just trying to fucking hate on AEW. Warner Discovery is absolutely pleased with the job AEW is doing in the ratings department. They're always consistently number 2 or number 1 in cable, always. and anytime they're not, it's usually behind the NBA sometimes. So they're more than happy that something like that is up there. So they're happy with the result of that. So
Yeah.
it's that's a bullshit thing. And like a lot of people are just trying to and that's another fucking reason. Part of me, and I can't even believe I'm fucking saying this, bro. But like I'm not even kidding. I'm a man that does live up to my word. I kind of am hoping MJF don't show up, and I'll be honest with you why, because that means I have to deal with less toxic ass motherfuckers on social media dragging wrestling down. It ruins the fucking product, man. It really does. Like, I know that's like, a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. And you know what? Fair enough. It probably is. But, I've dealt with shit like this before. I'm not talking,
Nobody does.
I'm not talking out of a place of like freaking, oh yeah, this is dumb. I mean, like this is just dumb, and I'm like some guy who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about because I've dealt with this myself. I
feel like too, wrestling is like the worst. Like it has the most toxic fan base, just because it's like the fan base that tries to run the industry down the most. You don't see that. You don't hear this happen anywhere else.
No,
like with
you
movies,
don't.
sports.
So part of me kind of makes me hope that it doesn't happen.
I mean, movies I don't have
like. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Maybe I should be done just off that alone. But like, I want wrestling to do good, and there's no reason it can't right now.
Yeah.
We got a viable alternative to the WWE, and the WWE just changed ownership. There's no reason why both companies in America can't do well.
I know.
And the only reason it would be the case is because too many fucking egos are stopping that from happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not for it. I'm out.
I mean, yeah. I'm going to be honest,
but I don't care. I could deal with toxic fans all day long. Lord knows I fucking, Virtue and I fucking went at it. But, like...
Yeah.
Bro... Like, I want both companies to succeed. I'm not going to freaking watch and continue doing this if that's not going to happen going forward.
I think that's what every wrestling fan wants. As Brian Alvarez said, every wrestling fan wants wrestling to do well because, well, not in our case, but the people that are reporting on it, they make a lot of money. Like, Brian Alvarez could be, he could have several.
They make a lot of money. The fans that actually like wrestling would enjoy the fucking products and not bitch and moan every week. We get to watch, sit there and enjoy and escape from life for a little bit.
Yeah.
And lately, with all this bullshit drama, I haven't felt that way about AEW in the last few weeks. I haven't. And that's a fucking shame, because that wasn't the case fucking 2 months ago. That wasn't the case 5 months ago, especially.
Yeah.
This is fucked.
Now, I do have a question. What are you going to do if MJF shows up not 2 months, 2 weeks after All Out?
I'm out. I'm still out.
So I know the world has a tendency to do that to you. So
yeah,
I do remember.
I'm not coming back.
I do remember.
If he comes back and they think that freaking 2 months later is the fucking right time frame, they're out of their fucking mind.
No, I said 2 weeks. Actually, said 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
So.
No. Oh no! The week after the fucking go home week is the most I'm giving it. If they do it any farther, like I don't give a fuck if people call me an impression prick. I don't care. You lost me already. If it takes that long.
So I do remember you said this right before the 2018 Royal Rumble, and then Nakamura and Asuka won. You're like, oh shit! I didn't know that was gonna happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Shit. I have to come back.
Yeah, and then we saw what happened, and then I said, well, never mind.
I
have done that before, by the way. I have. So
I'm assuming.
I'll be done. I'll be done with it if he doesn't show up at all. I don't care if he shows up a week after the fact, and if he wins the world title after the fact. It should have been an All Out.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you know what that's going to tell me? It absolutely was a shoot, and even if he did fucking work out his situation, it's not going to look like that, because it's going to look like they had MJF just come out there, walk all over Tony Khan, and then because he had no other option, he fucking brought him in a week too late. And paid him what he was fucking owed. Yep. That's what that's going to tell me. Why am I going to want to watch that? At that point, the ship sailed. I'm done. It shouldn't have even come down to this point. It really shouldn't even be at this point.
I know.
I've been the biggest supporter of AEW, and yeah, I've criticized them before, but that was minute compared to what the fuck's been happening lately. They need some tough love here.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck me. That's it. That's all I got.
I hate that we had to end it with us being in negative moods, but you know,
there was no other way. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Here's puppy. I like puppies, and I'm talking about the dogs. Not well. I like tits too, but you know. So there's a positive. You know.
There you go.
I try to find anything. I'm grasping at straws here.
Our trip's coming up in Vermont. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, so that's a positive. So
yeah, you ain't kidding.
I
can't honestly, wait. I can't wait to just escape all of this bullshit, man. I'm counting down the days. Fuck.
Me too. I can't wait to not have to think about anyone but the people that are at the trip, and not have to think about any. We're
going to Six Flags, having a good time there. Fuck yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Hopefully we're going to Six Flags.
Hopefully, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's do some plugs and promotion. I feel like we already did some plugs and promotion earlier today, so we'll just do a half-ass.
No. Okay, so because this is going to be released, I think Monday, which is when this is going to be released. So it will actually be released the 29th of August. We should probably do our plugs the same way we did it on the Retro. We recorded the Retro and the Spark on the same day for those ones.
Yeah. So as for my stuff, check out this channel for AEW Spark Retro Wrestling Review Series. We're taking a break from the Retro. Now, what James says he's going to cover Retro. That's the only thing James can, and maybe a fantasy booking series.
Yeah, and which, by the way, I know this is going to be crazy to say, but fantasy booking series is going to be released. We do have a bunch in the can that I haven't released yet, so one of them is going to be released while we're gone on vacation. I'm not going to premiere it. It's just going to be posted, and we'll see what happens.
You're still going to release the one Steve did. I don't even know where that is anymore.
I know where it is. I got it. Don't worry about it. I just got to edit it. That's all.
And then, we're gonna look so bad. Steve did that a year.
Yeah, whatever. As long as it's edited good, who cares? You know.
Yeah. It's just a lot of the
stuff was recorded on Skype. That's how long ago this shit was recorded. We've just been.
Yeah.
2020 sucked. Okay, leave me alone.
I know. And then then CM Brothers are doing the Talkinator. We're making comebacks in those channels. Something's gonna happen big with the CM Brothers channel. Once we get to 400, we'll talk about it.
And depending on how things go, I'm not sure how big it is going to be, but I'm hoping that it will be big. Even if the MJF does happen, it probably will still be big, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's basically it for my plugs. I have nothing else left to plug. So
there you go.
A rundown should be coming, hopefully either this week or the 2 weeks.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, if you want to catch us having a group discussion, go check out the boys at ATW View over on Noah's channel. That's YouTube. That's YouTube.com. Search up nfoster1916 in the search engine. We are going to be doing a ATW View on all the stuff we covered pretty much, and also doing predictions for All Out, which is why I wanted to invite you, so that way that's one less thing off your plate, basically. Because we're doing predictions on that show, and I knew you said...
I do Spark anyways. I'm probably going to just be talking about it anyways.
Yeah, so. Probably, so. It is what it is. But we're going to be doing predictions there. So check that out when you can. Also, on my channel, youtube.com/user/jhebert side95, that's JHEBERT SIDE95, you can catch the debut of the Don DeMarco show, which, as I said, is going to be breaking down Austin Gunn versus Max Caster, so go check that out. And there will be the Retro coming up on here. There's going to be... a couple things on Noah's channel. I think he's going to be doing a Simply Predicting show, which is going to be FTWIs as far as intros and outros go. So go check that out as well. And Yeah, last but certainly not least, go check out Casey's channel, which has the final episode of the Stable Wars, at least for a while. Go check that out. We're probably going to resume regular Button Masher stuff going on, which means we're back to the WrestleMania 19 stuff.
And the cleanest version of WYW, right? That's like the best version of Immortal you can be watching on there too.
What? Oh yeah, that's the cleanest version of Immortal. Yes, that's
like quality wise.
Yep, absolutely. Go check out Immortal on his channel if you haven't already. And that's all I got to plug.
Yeah, let's hope you'll have more after All Out. So
yeah, right. The things really have come down to relying on this fucking one guy showing up at All Out, man. It's kind of ridiculous.
No, what if he shows up like, what if he shows up but he's like in the crowd and he's never on camera? That's qualifies.
Again, that's why I gave myself at least until the week after All Out, because I'm going to be away with you anyway to Vermont, so it's not going to matter to me until I'm coming back, so I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying that's going to be hilarious if he shows up in the crowd but never on camera. They never have him show up on camera. He's just in the crowd and he posts like an Instagram photo.
No, I could see them doing that. I could see it. As long as he's there at All Out, even if it's just an Instagram picture, and then they fucking do the big reveal on Dynamite, I don't give a shit. As long as they do something.
What if it's reported that he was there, but like he had some type of falling out backstage and he walked off?
Oh yeah, then I'm definitely done. Fuck that.
No, but you can't. That he showed up though, so
yeah, well,
that technically qualifies.
Showed up in a cooperative fucking effort, bro. Come on.
I have to be
thorough. I get it. All right.
Because if he shows up and he has like a scuffle, everyone they're like, "Well, he showed up," So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Before this goes 3 hours and we're 10 minutes away from that, wrap this up. I got dinner. I gotta eat.
You haven't eaten dinner yet?
Yeah, dinner's sitting there, and I haven't gotten a chance to eat because I wanted to finish this up with you. So it is what it is.
Gonna eat. Whatever. Thank you guys for watching. We will talk to you guys later, and I guess this applies since we're recording this in the past. We'll talk to you in the future.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.